1 and a 2 and a 3. I think if I did all of this right, we should be live. And hopefully it's streaming okay. I'm getting a notification here in my streaming setup that the whoops. Let me go ahead and change that really quick. Sound in background, turn that on. Getting a little notification here that it's not the playback rate's not good enough, but nope, stream health is good. We are golden. We are golden. Let's hope it stays good. And let's see here. This is supposed to be an Yuan Shao playthrough. So we're going to go ahead and start up a new campaign. He's in here under the regular coalition. There's also governors, outlaws, and yellow turbans if you have the yellow turban rebellion DLC. And Yuan Shao is in here. His starting position is normal. He's a preeminent commander. And handsome looking fellow. Character specialization, he's a commander, excels at inspiring friendly troops, but weaker in melee. Best grouped with retinues of melee cavalry. It's a little difficult to speak over the voices and whatnot. Let's see, +6 morale, -50% recruitment and upkeep cost for captain retinues. Now that's really good, but it's also a little misleading because you kind of have to power your faction up before you get that, from what I can tell. Over here, lineage allows recruitment of new characters, improves occupation, option to reinforce resupply. Lineage is like the faction special unique resource. Well, it says right there in the pop-up. Can forge alliances from the start. Lineage is gained from all members of alliances and coalitions initiated by this faction. Playstyle focus is then alliances. We have some unique features. The Warriors of Yi, Captain Retinues, Defenders of Hebei. That's, I don't know how to pronounce that quite yet. And we have some unique buildings here, and we start with some noteworthy characters. Not going to bother reading that. Just like my previous playthrough, I prefer Legendary, so we're going to go ahead and do that. There's a time of day sitting here that's really cool. I think it changes the campaign lighting, and I think even when the campaign map is nighttime, you will end up fighting night battles. But don't quote me on that, because I haven't really had a chance to test that thoroughly. And we're going to be doing a records mode playthrough, which means it's more like a traditional historic Total War. Our general is not some sort of crazy superhero, although they are still pretty strong.
Embers rise, stark against the night.
And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to be skipping the cinematics. I'm sure you've probably seen them on lots of other channels, or maybe the Total War official live streams that they've been putting out, I think pretty much every day leading up to release.
Devoured by corruption. The yellow turbans, thousands strong, began raising their banners in rebellion.
Okay, so far so good. Game does load pretty quick. I do have an SSD drive. It's one of the NVMe 2 drives. It's not on a SATA port. It's plugged directly into the motherboard. Okay, here we go. Ooh, we start off with a quest. Establish your power, Lord Yuan Shao. Although you led your coalition to the very gates of the tyrant, your warlords have lost their zeal and fractured, and the fight is not yet done. You must reach out, using your influence and name to reforge broken bonds and bring together a new coalition as only you can. I wonder why they decided to bold the word "you" out of everything. However, be wary of those who would undermine you, especially your avaricious kin, Yuan Shao for China. Yuan Shao. Yuan. I have been looking up Chinese pronunciation. I think this is pronounced Yuan. Yuan Shao. So that's what I'm going with. For China, you must hold firm. Claim Han Empire regions, defeat the Yellow Turbans, be wary of Gongsun-zan. And then engage the following generals' army in battle. Sui Jun, and I guess that's him right here. There he is, of the Han Empire. We'll get a reward, 3 turns of +30 military supplies, and a little bit of increased morale, I think it was. Okay, let's just zoom out here and take a real quick look at our campaign starting position. Let's go ahead and switch it to diplomatic status. I find that to usually be the best one to look at, because it tells us who we're initially at war with. So we're very close to Yuan Shao. That's the other campaign I've been playing. And, once again, really quick, I almost forgot. Please remember, this is early access, and thank you to Creative Assembly for providing me with that. And this is kind of preview campaign gameplay. I do not intend to finish this campaign on the channel. I'm just kind of doing a little bit of a stream for a preview. If you want to watch a campaign that I do intend to finish, look for my Yellow Turban Yuan Shao gameplay. Okay, so we start off at war with the Han Empire. Yuan Shao, he's got the farm over here and 2 settlements over here. This is also Han Empire. We're also near Han Fu, who seems to have this entire commandery up here, and we don't know who's up here in these other settlements. So let's go ahead and zoom by. We got a few people we need to worry about. Let's start quick and easy. I'll worry about the ancillaries later. Establish our power. That's our quest. Mission issued. Let's fight a battle here. Whoop. Now, if anybody has any questions about the game so far, feel free to ask. I'll answer them as best as I can. And so we have superior forces. We, of course, have Yuan Shao here. Yuan Shao. And then we have Ji Militia. I'll give you my impressions. I don't think I've played long enough to give an official review, and I do plan to put together like an impressions video that I'll maybe go into in more detail, but I will in just a moment. And then we have some Saber Cavalry. Now these guys, they have really good missile ranged block chance. So in my Yuan Shao playthrough, I've been trying to shoot them with missile units, and they're not dying. And so now that I've like got another faction in front of my face here, the reason they're not dying is because they have a really good missile block chance. So these guys are awesome at hunting down missile units and interrupting them. And let's what do they have over here? Does it show us their stuff? So some Saber Militia, Light Bow Infantry, Archer Militia. We should win this battle pretty easy. Okay, so in terms of overall impressions, the game's not perfect. There's a few issues that I have with it. They're not game breaking. They're not a very big deal. I'm going to put together kind of a little bit of a review, critique video, and try to get it out before the game's release. Having said that, I think that this that Total War 3 Kingdoms has the potential to be one of the best Total Wars I've played since Shogun 2. I was introduced to the Total War franchise with Shogun 2, and I enjoyed it very much, and I've been playing Total War for like 7 or 8 years now, and the general consensus I get on a lot of the online communities is that Shogun 2 is one of the most polished Total War titles in the franchise. We know that Rome 2 had kind of a rocky start or a rocky launch. Attila's always kind of been plagued by performance problems. The Warhammer titles released pretty good, although there was the Mortal Empires issue with Warhammer 2 when that came out. And then I don't really know much about Thrones of Britannia. I kind of skipped over that one. I think if this is not one of the best titles on release, I think the framework is in place for this to kind of uproot Shogun 2 as the most polished title in the franchise. Now, having said that, also keep in mind that I got my early access rather late. I've only had it since this last Thursday, and I have not had the chance to play very far into a campaign. So a lot of the campaign mechanics I have not yet been able to see how they affect the campaign as you get into the really mid to late game. You know, do they become a burden? Do they enhance the gameplay? Do they not matter at all? I don't have any of those answers yet, unfortunately. And that's why I don't feel equipped to really make a review video, but I can give, you know, kind of my impressions. Easier to get the hang of the game. So people are asking which character do you think has the best start? Again, I don't know. And the reason I don't know, let's deploy here. Okay, so here's Yuan Shao. And then is he... Yeah, he is cavalry. Let's set him up on the edge here. Let's go ahead. We have our Ji Militia and then Defenders of Hebei. I'm going to go ahead and rearrange these guys with the defenders in the middle. I'm going to set our archers kind of off on each flank. And then our Saber Cavalry, we're going to kind of move up through the trees here. Now, the gameplay, the battles, at least in historic mode, or records mode, I should say, the battles are a lot slower paced. There's a lot more time spent with the battle lines approaching each other. And you're going to want to use walk mode as opposed to run mode a lot more often. And one of the things I usually do is I select everything. I hold Alt and left-click drag. And then when I get them about where I want them, I hold down Control and release the left mouse button. And then that sends everybody moving forward in a walking formation. And if you want them to run, you can hit the toggle run here, or you can hit the R key. Hello, Nicholas. How are you doing today? So Ivan Tan has asked me which character do I think has the best start. I honestly I can't tell you, and the reason for that is I don't watch a lot of pre-release footage for video games. I don't watch a lot of pre-release footage for video games. I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos where YouTubers analyze game trailers. As a consumer, I don't buy very many games. Okay, I only buy like maybe 3 or 4 PC games in a year, and sometimes I don't even buy that many. And so when I do buy games or when new titles are coming out that I look interested in, I tend to generally stay away from all the preview, early access stuff. Because I don't like listening to information from people who don't really know what they're talking about. I like to wait typically until the games get into the hands of the general public. And then I like to wait and see what reviews from actual consumers are saying about the game. And I wait to look for what smaller channels and maybe my favorite content creators have to say about the games. So I'm glad that the stream is looking good. I'm doing a few different things here with my settings and quality. I play at 1440p. I downscaled to 1080p for this. I was hoping it would come out good for you guys, or for you folks. Now, having said that, about like I don't really watch a lot of early access and stuff like that. So when Creative Assembly announced 3 Kingdoms, I really wasn't paying attention to it because I've been having a lot of fun on my channel with the Warhammer titles. I wasn't really sure if and when I wanted to start introducing a historic title back into my channel. I have kind of been thinking about starting up some Shogun 2 gameplay, but I think I might actually play this instead if I do a historic title. I am enjoying this game. But so I have not been watching any of the Reddit posts. I have not been watching any of the Creative Assembly blog posts. I've not been watching any of the Creative Assembly streams in regards to anything about the game. So I got early access just this last Thursday, and upon activating it and Steam downloading the game, I fired it up, and that was literally the first time I had seen Total War 3 Kingdoms. So going back to that's the very long answer for someone asked which character has the best start. I have absolutely no idea. Because I don't watch anything. Like I've only really just got my hands on the game very shortly. Okay, so we're letting our missile units kind of exchange fire with them here. I'm going to pull back these guys because I don't think any of them have shields. Yeah, so none of them have shields, and, well, these guys might. No, they don't. So while they're walking away from the missile units there, they may take a little extra damage because they can fire straight into their back. The AI has brought up a single missile unit. So let's redirect. Well, now they're fleeing. So let's redirect both missile units of ours onto their single unit of archer militia. Let's bring these guys out of the trees here. And where is my other general? What did I do with him? He's over here hiding in the bushes. Let's start bringing these guys up. I don't know how you can get early access. And I don't know how to pronounce your name either. I don't know. Okay, so their general has decided they're going to chase our Saber Cavalry. We're going to run here a little bit. Okay, so the AI is having a little bit of trouble deciding what they're going to do. They were coming after our archers. The other unit of theirs came back. Let's still shoot that archer group. They're chasing our Saber Cavalry, our Saber Militia. Or no, is that my general? No, that's my general. How did they get all screwed up here? This is my Saber Militia. Okay, so this is a little interesting. I don't know exactly what these guys are doing. They're kind of bouncing around in the center there. So the AI's, you know, not perfect. Let's start bringing our cavalry groups this way. Let's see if we can't get their general over here to chase our cavalry into a set of anti-large halberds and spears. Why did the arrows seem blue? I have no idea. I have no idea. Okay, so their archers are completely fleeing the field. We're going to catch these guys right here. Our general has escaped, mostly unscathed. We're going to bring our archers back. Let's start bringing these guys over this way. Why? Oh, I must have accidentally dragged them. No, that is... What? Oh, good grief. See, I can't walk and chew gum. I'm playing this battle horribly because I'm answering questions. Okay, let's... I need to stop trying to answer questions real quick and get my button gear on this battle. So we've got 2 units of cavalry here. One of them is a general, and then our heavy halberd infantry on their general. He's heavily outnumbered. We're going to send these guys into a rear charge here. We're going to bring our general over here to provide some morale. And you can see here, again, remember this is legendary difficulty, so battle stats are maybe a little bit beefier for the AI. But you can see here that their general, their cavalry general here, even though we've got heavy halberd infantry in his flank, and our 2 of our own, well, one of our generals, and then some saber infantry, or saber cavalry, they're not dying very fast. They're very durable. Now they're finally starting to waver. Yeah, that's what their little flashing icon means there. And then these guys over here, did they chase our guys off? They did. Okay. Let's come over here and break some morale. So I could be playing probably a little bit better. And then somehow their general has managed to pull out of this entire engagement. So there's little things like that that I think the, what I want to say, more historical, more passionate Total War audience, I think they may have some issues with those little things like that. I think it's something that Creative Assembly may have to address a little bit during the post-release for the game. Okay, let's go ahead and run down those guys over there. Let's also run down their general as much as we can with their cavalry. And let's just tell our infantry to kind of hang back over here. Now, I do have some Yuan Shao campaign footage that's not out on my channel yet. And I talked about it a little bit in one of the videos that I haven't released yet. One of the things I am enjoying... where's our Saber Cavalry? Can you guys go chase that down? One of the things I'm enjoying is after the battle, as you chase down the fleeing enemy troops, you are much more effective in Three Kingdoms in cutting them down. It's more like Shogun 2 in that regard. So like their general here, there's a very good chance he's going to die. Most likely, yeah, so he died. Let's go chase down the archers. So I think sometime around Rome 2, and it's been kind of consistent from Rome 2 onwards, when you chase down fleeing enemy units, you really don't seem to cut down a lot of them. So even though they're fleeing and you're like running into their back, the troops and models just kind of like bounce and slide off of each other a little bit. And then after the battle on the campaign map, they tend to have quite a few units left in the army. That doesn't seem to be the case in Three Kingdoms. So it's kind of like Shogun 2, where if you really win a battle, it's in your best interest to use your fast-moving cavalry to look for the prime targets that the AI was fielding and try to run them down. So that's kind of like something that seems to be back in the series, if that helps. Okay, so that was a very, very long first battle. Yeah, 20 minutes just to finish that. I'm planning to stream for, I don't know, a few hours. If I can, that would be nice. And let's see here. How did we do? This unit took quite a few casualties. These guys didn't take too many. Yuan Shao, I think, has a pretty good start in terms of finances. And we're going to kind of be in our own territory for a while, so I don't think we need the military supplies. We're going to go ahead and take the replenishment, because I did suffer a few casualties while trying to walk and chew gum at the same time there. Mission success. So we've got a taste of victory. We've got a 3-turn buff to military supplies and morale. It's faction-wide. Capture and occupy the following settlement. Farmland in Yi. So that will be, that's this farmland that's part of this commandery. And let's go ahead and push up here. We can get all the way up here. We're going to win pretty decisively. So let's, I like to fight my battles for the most part. Okay. And then one thing that kind of keeps throwing me off too is after the loading screen, you have to always click continue. I don't know if I really like that from a UI perspective. Sometimes I find myself looking at something on my second monitor and like waiting for the battle to load, and then I look over it and it's like, oh, it's already ready. Now this is a cool feature. If you guys are like me and you weren't watching any of the early access footage and stuff that Creative Assembly's been doing, this should be pretty neat if it happens the way I'm expecting it to. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of deploy everything back over here. I'm going to put my guys right here. These guys were a little bit damaged, so let's put them in the trees so that they have cover for missile fire. And so this is farmland. And so what's really nice is the map here is fitting for, you know, what the little minor settlement or resource is on the campaign map. But then look at this. Yes, look, there's people farming. They're over here. It's like, it's a neat little touch. You got villagers here. They're working the farm. And then look over here. There's villagers here as well. But as soon as we start to like get near them, I think they're all going to run away. Because wouldn't you run away from hostile troops on your farm? I know I would. Let's see what happens here. I think they run away. I'm not sure. Let's see. There they go. There they go. They're out of here. They're gone. Yeah, they're packing it up. They're leaving. Now, what's kind of funny is they're still carrying their farm tools. I would have dropped mine, honestly. But, well, what can you do? Nothing's perfect. And so the AI is coming to us in this battle. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull back here a little bit. And I'm going to take a moment to address that. I think that the farm stuff here is like a really nice touch from Creative Assembly's, you know, on their part. It adds a real nice flavor and feel to the battle maps. They kind of feel more like living environments. And if I want to go back to talking about how this compares to Shogun 2, a lot of people, again, have always said that like the Shogun 2 sieges were some of the best and the settlements were the best in Shogun 2. The city battles and stuff so far in Three Kingdoms are a little bit more like the more recent titles in terms of map layout, but they are also reminiscent of Shogun 2 in the way that there's a lot more access points into the settlements. But what you're going to find in the city battles is there's a lot more buildings and infrastructure that make it look like people actually inhabit the settlements in the cities. There's trade tables, there's merchant stands, there's all sorts of little things. So like in Shogun 2, by comparison, the Shogun 2 maps are extremely bland compared to the Total War Three Kingdoms maps, is kind of the way I feel about it. And I'm not trying to knock Shogun 2 or anything like that. You know, it's a 10-year-old game, I think. It's an older game. But I think that a lot of attention and detail has been put into making the city maps and the battle maps and stuff look like they are inhabited and part of a like living, breathing campaign, I guess, or a living, breathing culture, city, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Let's go ahead and push up here. We got our Saber Cavalry in the forest, so they are getting, I believe, a missile resistance buff. They should be. The AI is going to chase after our cavalry right here, and we can now retarget our missile units on their missile units. Now the arrows seem wide again. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that in the beginning. The AI is redirecting their G infantry captain. These guys are pretty tough. You got to be careful with them. Kind of ignoring our cavalry. That's kind of interesting. They're piling in here on that combat. Let's go ahead. We're going to keep running down the G militia with these guys. And then we're going to line both of our cavalry units out here and our other one over here. We're going to line them up for a nice big fat rear charge into all of this. So let's just wait till these guys get positioned. Okay, so combat is a little bit slower and long-lasting. And so here we go. Let's get our charges in here. And let's just run them down. And we'll zoom in a little bit. So we can watch a little bit of this combat. Now, I'm going to zoom out a little bit because it gets awfully loud in there. People have been, some of the commentary I've been reading since I've had access to the game people are pretty happy about all the unit banners and stuff like that, and I do tend to agree. But when you zoom in and you try to watch the combat, the unit banners kind of get in the way, and it makes it hard to see the combat animations. So if you really like to zoom in up close on your battles and watch the combat animations, the excessive amount of banners is going to make that a little bit difficult. And maybe Creative Assembly will address that in some fashion post-release. Maybe there will be like a UI option to kind of like toggle the banners. I think they stay active even in cinematic mode. Yeah, they do. So it makes it hard to kind of see some of the animations, all these banners. But, you know, it's a minor nitpicky detail. And we've wiped out all those guys. And so, well, you know what? This is a farmland. It's just a garrison. So maybe we don't want to wipe them all out, because then it will take longer to replenish when we occupy it. So maybe I was being foolish in chasing them all down. Okay, so now we've captured the farmland here. We can click on that. We're going to go ahead and occupy, but I just want to point out here that Yuan Shao has a fourth option that's not available to all the factions, I don't think. I think it's unique to his faction. He's got a secure and occupy, and that gives you more faction support. It gives you more military supplies, and it gives you increased replenishment for garrisons and your army. And that's very beneficial, especially the replenishment, because replenishment is a lot slower in Total War 3 Kingdoms. However, it comes at the cost of minus 15 lineage. And lineage, can we see it anywhere? It's up here. It's up here near the top. You can see that we only start with 40 lineage right now. And we have 5 for our faction leader being deployed in the army, and there's also a -5. So our lineage is not changing per turn. So you really probably don't want to be using an option like this early in your Yuan Shao campaign. It's probably better to choose one of the other 3. However, I think you gain lineage by forming alliances and coalitions and stuff. So further in your campaign, after you've done some of that, you have lineage to spend. If you're fighting really hard battles on a really tough war front, choosing that his unique option to get the bonus replenishment might be a very good strategy in the later campaign. Wouldn't recommend it in the early campaign. So we've completed that quest, mission success, and construct or upgrade a building in Yi, in our town over here. So let's go ahead and look at that in a second. Establishing order. I'm not going to go ahead and bother with that. And I'm going to go ahead and right click to close these. The friends and relationship system is pretty interesting. It's not something I've been able, it's one of the mechanics I've not been able to investigate or explore like in the mid to late campaign. So again, I don't know if it's going to be a burden, a thing that's tedious, a thing that's really awesome. I don't have any real commentary on that yet. In the early campaign, for me, it's just kind of like something else to kind of look at and, you know, close and get out of the way. And let's go ahead and go in here. And if you do want to look at your relationships, you would go into court and you would look at characters, and then you can click on like characters, and you can click on the various people. So Yuan Shao is in the army, and then so when you click on him, it shows you his relationships, and you can kind of like click through here. It's really nice the way you can click through things. I do like that. From a UI design, it's pretty good. Let's look at our buildings. What would we build? I find it's more helpful to open the building browser over here. So once you open that, your main settlement appears over here, and then your minor settlements and stuff, they appear down over here if you are like me and don't know a whole lot about the game. It took me a while to figure that out, embarrassingly. Let's see, what would we build here? I think initially, because I don't plan to really finish this campaign, I'm not going to put a whole lot of thought into this. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to build the horse exchange, and that's going to give us a little bit of extra income. And so we can click on the hammer right here in the building browser UI, and if we had enough funds, if we had 50 funds, we could do an instant construction and it would build instantly. That's a really cool feature. If you find yourself overflowing with money in the late campaign. One of the gripes I have about, let's say, the Warhammer titles is when you capture new settlements, it could take like 30 turns to build up a settlement when you might have a lot of money in your treasury. And so being able to use that money to build things instantly is kind of a nice feature in Three Kingdoms, I think. It should help with some of that tediousness in developing your lands and your settlements. We have a skill point right here, and let's just go ahead. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with Zeal. And the reason I'm going to pick that is because down here that will open up Composure, which gives us Fire Arrows and Night Battles. And then we're going to close that. And we do have ancillaries, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that right now. I think I would rather go ahead and take a quick look at Diplomacy. And just, I like the quick deal feature. So if we wanted to look in here and look at, like, let's see who wants to make a trade agreement with us. Gao Gan over here to our Westwood. Hanfu would as well. And Wang Kuang. So let's go ahead and go with Gao Guan. Let's negotiate a trade deal. Let's negotiate the deal, and then it takes us into here. And the deal is a little bit in our favor. So another thing we could do is we could go into trade, and we could request like a request regular payments. And so you can see here. Well, hold on a second here. No, not I give. I don't want to give him. Request regular payments. That's what I wanted. So if we ask him for 50 per turn, that makes the that's like a negative 1.9, whereas the trade agreement is a positive 1.2. So we can kind of just go in here until it balances out. And so we could get over 10 turns, 19 per turn. So we'll get an extra 190 in addition to the expected 320 per turn. So let's go ahead and do that. I like that. And then let's go ahead and go over to Wang Kong. What's going on here? Oh, we're still in with the other guy. No, come on now. I still get a little confused in the user interface sometimes. Okay, so there we go. Let's go ahead and ask this guy for a... Was that who I just did? That is why, pardon me. Okay, let's select him, negotiate. Oh, you know what it is? I don't think I have... Yeah, confirm, end that. Let's go ahead in here. Yeah, I don't have enough faction power to have another trade agreement. So, somewhere in here... Yeah, the number of trade agreements you can have is somehow tied to our power. I want to kind of keep the stream moving a little bit. So let's go ahead. Let's end our turn. So we can do some more battles and exciting stuff. It's very easy to get bogged down, I think, on the campaign map, investigating all your trade options. There's a lot of stuff to investigate, to click on. There's a lot of things to look at, especially if you haven't been following along with what Creative Assembly was doing. Now, one thing I think I'd like to do is I'd like to try to take the city of Hanoi down over here and then move eastward and take the farmland from Yuan Shao. And so let's go ahead. Now that the first turn is passed, we can look at doing some recruitment. And if we look over in here, arrogant, charismatic, and vain. If we look in here, it's very useful to look at your character traits. Every once in a while, you'll see ones that like give bonuses to certain unit types of yours. Missile troops seems to be like the most common. But I'm not seeing any major bonus to a specific unit type in here. So let's just go ahead and recruit, I think, some Saber Militia. These are going to cost us 423 and then 150 per turn. And so recruitment's a little funny. When you initially recruit, it's grayed out and it makes you think it's going to take like one turn, but you also could immediately move and then you would get those troops, although they're not full strength. There's only 49 in the unit right now. We could also think about recruiting some troops for here. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to add some archers. These are just archer militia. 212 initially, 60 per turn. So let's go ahead. Let's do that. And let's wait a turn or two. Well, you know what? We still have 1,000 per turn right there. Let's recruit some extra archer militia. And the reason I'm thinking we want to do that is because we're going to come down here and try to take this city. It's a level 5 city, and the extra archer units will make that easier for us. And then so there's really not a whole lot we could do right now in the campaign map. Well, maybe there is. We have an excess of food. So another thing we can do, I kind of like this feature, is, let's see. We already have a trade agreement with Galgon. So if we come in here, it always gets me. Okay, negotiate, and then we go into trade and marriage. We can offer a food trade. So we can offer to give them some excess food, like 2 food per turn. This puts this is like a plus 2.4 in our favor. And then we can go over and say request regular payments again. And if we lower it just a tiny bit, you know, so over 10 turns, we'll get another 450 from these guys. So we'll go ahead and do that. And now we're just giving them a little bit of our excess food to get a little bit of extra money in our treasury. And I kind of like that some of those things are back in this game in terms of diplomacy. I haven't been able to play with those features as much as I would like, because the very first faction I chose to play as is Yuan Shao of the Yellow Turban DLC. And Yuan Shao can't trade with any of the normal factions. So I haven't really had a chance to play with the diplomacy as much as I would have liked. Okay, so with that in mind, mission success: construct or upgrade a building in Yi, our town. Recruit and maintain a total of 16 units at the start of a new turn. We currently have 14. And so what we can do is, can we upgrade this? Let's open our building browser. And let's look at our inn. 1,500. And we'll get slightly more commercial income. I think we'll go ahead and do that. And then looking at the farm here. Now the UI, is it difficult to create coalitions? Yesterday I played a little bit of this campaign for maybe a couple hours. I was able to do a lot of trade agreements and like diplomacy options. I was not able to form any coalitions. So I don't really know how hard that's gonna be. Let's see if we can investigate that right now. Let's go ahead and look at Galgon, who we're already trading and doing stuff with. Alliances. Let's see. Form a coalition. Non-binding military agreement to combat mutual enemies. All members of a coalition vote on whether to accept new members, but all other negotiations like war are individual and independent of the coalition. So let's see here. So we can see that forming a coalition is a minus like 14.6 like in their favor. So we have to give up extra stuff to form a coalition with them. And so like what would we want to give up? Make regular payments. Well, let's see if we wanted to make regular payments to them. Like how much would this take? I have a feeling it's going to take quite a bit. Okay, so like if we wanted to give up 500 of our current income per turn, that would put us down to about 800 per turn. It wouldn't be like devastating for the campaign. We could get a coalition with Galgan straight away right now. We're at war with this guy. Is there anyone that's stronger than us in here that we could try to get a coalition with? I don't really see that. If we want it now, this is 539 over 10 turns, so that comes out to be a total of 5,000 and some change. If we wanted to just make a flat payment right now, like what would it take? Probably a lot less than 5,000. Maybe like 35. No, wow. Okay, it won't even let us put in the excess money. It won't let us put in the excess money because I only have 939 in my treasury. What if we wanted to like trade some ancillaries? Well, do we have anything we can trade? We could trade like some of this stuff. Okay, I think this is really cool that you can trade ancillaries and items as part of diplomacy. This is a really cool feature, I think. So, so if I, okay, so right clicking doesn't put it down here. Does right clicking take it off? Okay, so I have to left click and do trade. And let's say if I were like to give those things, that gives us a plus 10. So this is, what is this? This is the clay rat. This is our nice item. So if you have an excess of ancillaries that you're not really using, you might be able to use those to negotiate a coalition. That's really cool. I think that's cool. You know, you can offer marriage, receive marriage, stuff like that. We're already offering a food trade with them. If we hadn't have done that, we could probably try to get a coalition by giving them excess food. So there's a lot of, I think, different ways you can approach diplomacy to secure your deals, and I think that's really cool. I think that might provide opportunity in this total war to build tall as opposed to wide. Building tall is where you have very few settlements, but like maybe you generate a huge excess of food, as opposed to going wide and just trying to conquer the entire map. So, but again, I haven't been able to play that far into the campaign. I haven't been able to play as many factions. So I think the options are there. Okay, I think the groundwork is there. I think the framework is there. I just don't know how it's going to play out like super late into the campaign. We'll just have to wait and see as more people play it and get their hands on it more. We had a mission issue to recruit a couple more units, so let's go ahead. And we can't afford to recruit anything because I spent a bunch of money. So we're going to have to wait one turn before we can recruit more units. Another thing I like is using the middle mouse button to scroll around. I think that's pretty cool. And if you left click with the mouse, you can like rotate your view. And it's kind of neat. Okay, I don't have much else I want to do. We got a clay rat. I'm not going to worry too much about the ancillaries right now. I'm just going to go ahead. We're going to end our turn. I want to get a little bit more money in our treasury. I want to recruit a couple more units, and I want to lay siege to Hanoi. Gao Gan wants a non-aggression pact, and we will give an ancillary. I'm okay with the non-aggression pact. I'm not okay with giving him my craftsman. Now, this is an area where the UI could use a little bit of work. Okay, so you see here it says like trade ancillary, and it tells me the ancillary name. It tells me the ancillary worth, but it doesn't tell me anything about the ancillary itself. Like I can't see what this ancillary actually does. So let's go ahead. Let's take that off. And I'm not going to trade any territory. That would be kind of silly. That would be silly. Let's just do like make a payment. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to give this guy a whole bunch of money for a non-aggression pact. We're going to go ahead. We're going to reject this for now. And let the AI finish up its moves. Turn times are pretty quick. At least in the early campaign. And so here's something we're going to try. I really like to do this in Three Kingdoms. I find that ambush stance is very effective a lot of the time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set up an ambush here where we have 70% chance. Okay, and that moves us forward a little bit so we can see who and what is in this settlement. There is a garrison, and we do have, well, there's an army, and then there's a garrison. So a decent garrison. Then here's this guy here. I want to recruit a few units. We have 2,300 in our treasury. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to recruit a captain. And I think I'm going to go with the archer captain because that's going to give us a gigantic pile of missile troops. And then now that we've done that, these guys are replenishing very fast. I'll show you why that is in a second. And then we're going to set in an ambush stance. And the reason why we're replenishing so fast right now is we still have active a 3-turn buff from that initial battle that we won where we're getting 20% replenishment right now. But I don't know like where I can see it. Is it in here? Noble. Where's that show up? Yeah, I'm still a little confused sometimes with like finding certain things. Well, anyways, I know that we have a plus 20% replenishment right now. Or do we not? No, I guess maybe it wore off, but we still have a pretty high replenishment in here. Anyways, it doesn't matter. And there's nothing we can do right now while we're waiting for the guys to replenish. So we're going to go ahead. Oh, no, we can pick a reform. And I think the skill tree is, or the reform tree is very beautiful. I think it's a little funny that it wiggles back and forth with the mouse cursor. I'm gonna go ahead here though, and I'm just gonna pick the foreign envoys, and then I guess we have to wait 5 turns for another reform, and then we'll go ahead. We'll end our turn because we are just kind of sitting in ambush right now, and Cao Cao, no, get out of here. I'm not giving you my clay rat. And we're just sitting in an ambush stance and replenishing, and then we're gonna come down here, lay siege a little bit, try to take the settlement, show you guys a siege battle. Mission success: a new coalition is forged on the backs of noble warriors. Recruit, maintain a total of 16 units. It seems like the word units is missing from all of the verbiage on these quests. At the start of the turn, we have 21, so we complete that. Our lineage has increased, or no, our lineage will increase when we hold 3 settlements, so that's coming up pretty soon here. And then let's go ahead and go to diplomacy. And can we see Cao Cao in here? Let's see if we can get a non-aggression pact with him. Where would that be? That would probably be no, trade and diplomatic treaties. What? You cannot negotiate this term so long as you continue to maintain your non-aggression pact with this faction. Do I? Oh, I guess I already have a non-aggression pact. Well, there you go then. Just want to make sure that Cao Cao's not going to become a problem for us here. Who are you? You're Galgon. You're friendly with us. And can we get another trade agreement in here? Can we? Okay, good. So we can finally pursue a trade agreement with Wang Quang. So let's go ahead and go for a trade agreement. That's another 334 per turn. It's a plus like 1.4 in our favor. And we have a surplus of food. So we could like give them like a little bit of food. Offer a food trade, right? So if we come down here, like if we just give them like a 1 food trade, the 1 food trade for 10 turns is worth more to them even than the trade agreement. And then that puts us in a good position to request regular payments. So let's see if we can kind of go a little bit higher here. So now we can request 97 per turn. We might even be able to get away with 98. Nope, 97 it is. So we can now request 97 per turn over 10 turns. That's going to give us a total of 970 in addition to 334 per turn from the trade agreement stuff. So if you like clicking on little dials and adjusting little widgets and knobs like that to get things like just perfect, this Three Kingdoms offers that, and I think it makes it easier than any of the previous Total Wars. Like going back to Shogun 2 and trying to figure out like how you can get a non-aggression pact or a alliance with certain factions. You know, Warhammer 2, if you're really powerful and you're trying to get an alliance with another faction and they just keep refusing. Because you don't really know how the AI weighs those choices. But in Three Kingdoms, those little numbers that tell you like how much they like or dislike the deal gives you a real good indicator of how likely you are to be able to get those things from the AI. It's really cool. I like it. I like that a lot. I think they've done a great job with that. Let's go ahead and check our army strength. We're not quite fully replenished. One more turn ought to do it. A little bit of a slow start in terms of battles. I'm just kind of like rambling about a lot of the campaign mechanics and stuff like that. Okay, Liu Dai, what do you want? Arrange a marriage with him. I don't know. Our character will join their faction. Okay, so again, this is another area where the UI can use just like a little bit of work. Okay, so we have Liu Dai is approaching us with a deal, and we're stuck with this. There's not really any option for us to. No, okay, so if we click the negotiate button, we can come in here, and we can kind of see what Liu Dai's standing is with other factions. He's also at war with Dong Zhao and Huang Shao, which I think we're at war with Wang Shao and Dong Shao as well, and the Han Empire. So we share common enemies, but the other thing we can't really do, he's asking for marriage, and there's no way for us in this screen to like go look at our character or their character and look at the relationship. So like right now, I couldn't tell you like who's getting married. Is Wen Tan getting married to Liu Huimin? I guess that would be the case, but I don't even know like who's from what faction. Like I don't know if the guy on the left is from our faction or if the girl on the right is from our faction. Like I have no way of deciphering that information from the user interface right here. So it's kind of a minor gripe. I'm hoping that's something that Creative Assembly comes back and she will be offered the years, I guess. Yeah. See, well, no, because it says if you look at the pop-up there, it says arrange marriage towards the top, and it says we offer marriage to Liu Dai. Our character will join their faction. So to me, that sounds like we're gonna lose a character. But I have no idea like who. And it says offer marriage to Liu Dai. That makes it seem like we're marrying like Liu Dai himself, but then Liu Dai is neither of the characters that's in the pop-up here. So it's a little bit confusing. I wish we had a better way of investigating the ramifications of this deal from this screen. And so that's an area where I think the framework is in place, but it needs a little bit of extra work. And I'm hoping that Creative Assembly will do that, and that once they do, if they do, then features like this will like be much more impactful on the campaign and in the campaigns. You know, I think it could be a really cool feature. I think it could. It's just really hard to say. And they're going to go ahead. They're going to give us some money, a lump sum payment. And I'm going to go ahead and decline the lump sum. And I want to request regular payments. And I'm going to go ahead and just see if they'll give us like 500. Absolutely. 200. Oh, I guess he's only earning 211 per turn. Let's go ahead. Oh, crud. In every single Total War, I hate typing into these. It's always a little bit silly. Okay, let's ask for 88 per turn, and then a lump sum payment. And so now, which one of these is this is a regular payment. This is the payment. It's easier to tell because you can see the turn duration right there. Okay, easy enough. Let's try like 425. Hit it right on the money. I could like try to go a little bit higher, a little bit lower. See, it took away my 5. This looks pretty good. 425, 87 per turn, and we give. Okay, so Yuan Tan and Liu Huimin. Let's just see if it tells us after the fact here, like who went where and did what, because I honestly have no idea. Let's go ahead. Let's open our characters. It doesn't really give me any indication in here. Okay, so faction developments. No, I want to see if I can figure out what happened there. This is a pop-up. You get character developments and then people of merit. This is a pop-up when there are people passing through your territory, and then like you could recruit them. I think that's kind of cool that character candidates like they come and go throughout the length of the campaign. It kind of makes it seem like again, going back to the campaign being like a living, breathing China. It seems like stuff are going back and forth. Yeah, it was. That's a good idea to check the family tree. And so, Yuan Shao. Which faction is this? Let's see here. I didn't get the chance to look at this stuff a lot in my Yuan Shao playthrough, because Yuan Shao can't do diplomacy. Yuan Shao, the Yellow Turbans are completely locked out of diplomacy, so I didn't really get to explore some of this. So we're playing as Yuan Shao here, married to Lady Liu, and I think it was Yuan Tan went to the other faction. Okay. So what happened here is Yuan Tan is our child, I guess. He's our child. He's age 19, and he married Liu Huimin of the Liu Dai faction. Okay, so that's what happened. And then we also have a child aged 14 And we have another child age 16. They're both boys. Okay, so it says in the left here that they're boys. And then, so now the question becomes, is Yuan Tan, is he now our faction heir? It seems like, I think he started the campaign as our faction heir, and now he's no longer our faction heir. So, if we wanted to pick a new faction heir, well, that's interesting. We can pick our wife. I suppose we could pick our wife as the new faction heir if we wanted to. Going back to the family tree, Lady Liu. Yeah, it seems like we could. Okay, so Wan Feng. Okay, this is really cool. It shows you... Okay, so this is how we're kind of related to Wan Shu. Is, I guess we're brothers. I don't know a whole lot about the history of China in this period. I'm not really a history buff. So anyway, so this is pretty cool. I guess what would be helpful again in the UI if Creative Assembly was to make any improvements. Why can I not pick a faction heir anymore? Just a minute ago, I was able to click on this. Where did it? Ah, okay, so now I can. Oh, okay, so that's weird. So, like, I had clicked on this guy, and then I came over here. Oh, okay, I don't know if this is a bug or not, but my selection, like, okay, so I'm over here, and I select somebody, and then I go back over here. Well, no, now I can. What's going on? Yeah, okay, see, so now I can't click on it because I selected Wan Shu over here, but then as soon as I pick, like, somebody over here, I can select it, and then if I deselect her, it's still active. So, I don't know, maybe that's a little UI bug or something like that. Getting bogged down in the silly stuff. Why can I not like do anything on the campaign map? Okay, that's better. Let's close this and let's go ahead and I think we're strong enough now to lay siege. This army Tian Feng has not come out and attacked our farmland. I was kind of hoping he would. It doesn't appear that he's going to, so let's push up and lay siege and start building some sapping equipment. And so we'll go ahead here and build 2 of these and then continue our siege. Okay. It's going to take a couple turns. This is like a really slow start, I guess. There's not a whole lot of action going on right here. Sorry if it's a little bit, I don't know if that's boring or not, but, doing what I can. And then let's see, what else can we do in here? We have a pretty decent garrison over here. We're earning quite a bit of money now per turn. 1,600. So let's pop over in here and let's look at what else could we build. We could upgrade our settlement. We can't upgrade our inn until we unlock something. There's ways to tell by like clicking in here. I'm not going to bother chasing it down right now because I've spent way too much of this playthrough already just talking. Let's go ahead. Let's upgrade our farm. And that's going to give us 2 extra food production. That's probably a good idea because we've been giving away a lot of food. So let's go ahead and construct. It's 2,650 to do an instant completion. So we're not going to go ahead and bother with that. And let's go ahead and we got someone who's a little bit dissatisfied here. Yan Liang. So let's see if we can give him something that gives a little bit of satisfaction. Not there. Let's go ahead and give him the clay rat. And let's look at our faction leader really quick here. So he can't equip the really nice sword that we got. What is that? Where is that thingy? Oh, no. It's a... What is it? No, it's this one here. It's the ancillary. I don't know why I thought it was something else. Okay, so we could go ahead and give this ancillary that gives instinct and satisfaction. Increases melee damage for all cavalry. And melee damage for all infantry to our own army. We could give that to Yuan Shao. Or Yuan Shao. And instinct and instinct. So that would be this one over here. It wouldn't push him up to the 100 or whatever it was. let's go ahead and end our turn. And I'm a little late on this. I meant to address this earlier, but like way early in the stream, DEFCON had made a comment and said, "Trust me, Fiend, I'm also the guy that helped you with the legendary status of pay." I watched way too many videos already. Haha. I wanted to go like to say thank you, but there's just like so much going on in my head right now. I wasn't able to. It just fell out of my brain. Okay, charismatic leader Han Fu. So your rousing speeches and canny negotiations lead all around you to respect you. You have raised relations with a neighboring faction, and people crave news of your actions. So Han Fu is happier with us. Plus 40 diplomatic relations with us. That's pretty decent. Let's see if we could take advantage of that with some diplomacy. Let's go check out Han Fu here. Let's maybe try to get a Are we already in a coalition? We have a no. Nothing in particular. Let's see if we can form a coalition. It's only minus 6.8. I see your comment, Miguel, and I'll take a look at that in just a second. And no, you're not. There's no problem commenting a lot. I really enjoy it. You're really the only person that's kind of doing it, so I do appreciate it. Let's see here. Let's see if we could request food trade. No, offer food trade. Let's throw in a little bit of food. Do I want to give up all of our remaining food? Well, you know what? We're building the farm. Let's do it. I don't see any reason why not. And then we'll make a payment, I guess. We have 3,000. How much would we have to make this work? So a flat 2,000. Okay, let's put the food back on the table then. Offer food trade. Let's knock it down to 2, and then let's like lower this. So we can go like 1350 and just like save ourselves a little bit of money. Maybe we could go 1355. No. 1360. Okay, so I think that was a little bit lower. So we're gonna form a coalition with Han Fu. Deal sign. So now we got a coalition with our neighbor to the north. And let's close this. Yuan Shao formed a coalition with Han Fu. Okay, very good. And we're still laying siege here. It's going to take 1 turn until they run out of supplies and start suffering attrition. And so I think we'll just kind of be patient and wait. We have 1,700 in our treasury, earning 1,600 per turn. Again, this is a legendary campaign. So far, not a super difficult start. Let's see. What do they want? Anfu wants us to join war against the Yellow Turban Rebellion. And they'll make a payment to us of 885. Yeah, sure, let's do that. It might go ahead and give us a little bit of action here in our campaign. And then, okay, Anfu requested Yuan Shao join their war, and we've done that. Diplomacy buildings. We have finished our farm, so even though we're trading away a bunch of food, we're back up at a positive again. And we have another person of merit is visiting. Miguel says, sorry if I'm commenting a lot, but I'm indecisive on buying the game. I am a fan, I think, of Total War since Medieval 2 and love the battles, but this one seemed a bit goofy with unit collision and animations. The best advice I can give is, if you're on the fence about it, is, you know, you can always buy it up to a week after release if you have any interest of getting that free DLC that they offer. You could be a patient gamer and pick it up on sale, you know, and see if you like it then. And also just kind of wait and see, you know, once it comes out, what the general consensus is from the community. Again, going back to what I said at the beginning of the stream, if you really liked Shogun 2, I think there's a really good chance that you might like this title. But I never played Medieval 2 and like Empire and those titles. I played a little bit of Empire, but it really wasn't my jam. I didn't like it quite as much. as some of the newer titles. So if that's like more your background and interest, I don't really have any insights into, you know, if you'll enjoy it. And then also I play Legendary, so a lot of my battles I stay very zoomed out, and I don't really zoom in and watch a lot of the animations, because just one mistake on the battlefield could spell disaster for the campaign. So I tend to not zoom in and watch a lot of the battle animations. So that's not really something that I can comment on, like how enjoyable is that in this game, because I know there's a huge following of Total War players that they love to kind of set up their battle lines and give the orders and then just kind of like watch the battles unfold as if it's a cinematic movie. And that's fine. That's just not my play style. So if that's your play style, I can't really tell you how well Three Kingdoms is going to be if that's your interest. So having said all that, let's do some more. Let's see if we could upgrade our settlement here. It looks like we can. Yeah, we can. For 2,000, we can upgrade it. And it's going to give us a little bit more prestige. It doesn't unlock any additional building slots. But let's go ahead and do that. And then hidden down here is the instant construction button. It took me like 30 hours of playing to realize it even existed. But that for 2,000, we could build our settlement instantly. And then each turn that it gets slightly constructed, this 2,000 will go down. So that's, again, pretty cool feature. And then we can't do anything else right now. Looking up here, our lineage is pretty much unchanging. Our prestige is really the only thing I think that's changing right now. I don't know where we look at that in the map though. Okay, let's go ahead and end our turn so we can let our siege last a little bit longer. Oh, they are sallying forth. What is going on here? They are attacking. We are defending. Oh, you know what? He used to have an army in here, and the army's not part of the battle, so I think he just, like, sailed out of the river and left. I think he just, like, skedaddled. So let's go ahead. Let's start this battle. It's going to be, I think it's wintertime, so I think it's going to be a snow battle. Snow battles are pretty cool if you have the missile advantage. If you have the missile advantage in snow battles, infantry troops move slower through the snow. I think it's a 25% movement penalty. So so if we just click an infantry unit and then we just let the mouse sit still for a sec, so we can see here that in snow, light infantry have a minus 50% melee evasion and a minus 25% speed. Our archers count as light infantry. Let's look at our heavy infantry. Our heavy infantry do not have the melee evasion penalty. Let's find some more here. I want to see if we have any other medium or heavy infantry. Here's some medium bow infantry. Medium bow infantry, they do not suffer the melee evasion penalty. If we go ahead and we look at our champion, he only suffers 25% speed for being cavalry. And then if we look at our Saber Cavalry, medium sword cavalry, they also only suffer the 25% speed debuff. Now, it's a little bit like a blizzard. If it wasn't a snow map right now, I'm pretty sure we would be able to see the settlement somewhere in the background, like off the map, kind of like the Warhammer titles. But right now I can't see squat. So let's just go ahead and deploy and then figure out what we're gonna do here. So we have a lot of regular archers. They're medium archers, and then we got a bunch of peasant archers. So let's like do 3 on this side. We have a huge missile advantage, gigantic missile advantage. And so given that the AI is all infantry, they're gonna have a 25% speed debuff to approach us. And really the best way for us to fight this battle is to just hang back and force them to march the slow death towards us, I think. And let's go ahead. What are you? Oh, you're the retinue commander thing. Okay, and I'll just make one gigantic control group that is locked. We'll start the battle. They're a little itsy bitsy garrison. They're not coming towards us, which makes sense. No, they are coming towards us. So going back to what I was saying about the snow affecting speed and combat on the map, that I think adds a slightly new layer of depth to the tactics that you might employ in your battles. And I'm going to use my Yuan Shao playthrough as an example of that. There's an episode that hasn't been released yet, and I have a battle with Liu Bei, and it's on the snow. And because we're on the snow while fighting Liu Bei, it gives us a pretty severe tactical advantage against Liu Bei's army. And so I think Three Kingdoms is going to offer a little bit more strategy in how you use the terrain and battle map features in fighting the other army, like if you're smart about it in any case. Speaking of which, being smart about things, let's go look at the AI here. Spear guards are very tough, shielded troops. G infantry captain does not have shields, and neither do the regular G infantry. So you definitely want to fire your missile units into G infantry as much as you can, and try to bog down like spear guards with your regular with your infantry that's probably better at assault. So we've got two units in our army that are sword and board. We got one over here, so let's move them up. And we have the other one is over here. Let's go ahead and move that unit up. And we have... these are our Saber Cavalry. The AI is trying to move around here with their archers and get around us. I don't think they're going to have much luck with that. And here's their Saber Cavalry that have a very high missile block chance or missile range defense, whatever. And now we finally have so much missile fire that cavalry unit's not going to be able to close the gap. And then let's redirect all of these guys right here onto the G infantry captain. All of these missile units firing over there. All of these missile units firing there. And it looks like these two infantry groups or infantry units on the left aren't going to make it here. So we'll move up like this. Not a very challenging battle. And you can see here now their missile units are now firing at our cavalry that have a very high missile defense chance. So let's look here. We have 56 cavalry in the unit. Legendary difficulty as they're closing the gap here. They've only lost one unit. No, keep going. Why'd you stop? Nobody asked you to stop. And then let's get our 2 units of swordsmen to charge into the spear guard. And so they had this unit had 56. They only lost like a few units or a few members of the unit on their approach to 3 units of archers. So cavalry are pretty durable, is what it really comes down to. Now we can let's see. So now what we're going to do is we're going to send our units, our cavalry units. We're going to send all of our cavalry units to run down their archers. And we're going to do that so that when we assault the settlement, there's like nothing of a garrison. So we're going to be able to, let's run down the spear guard. That's Saber Cavalry. That's archers. We're running down this unit of archers. Okay. So let's just make sure that we run these guys down. These little gray arrow indicators here. That's how you know you're out of ammunition in your battle with your ranged units. And I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit and try to walk and chew gum again. Where's the edge of the battle map? It's way back there. 37 archers. We'll never catch the Saber Cavalry. Okay, so Miguel says thanks. He liked Shogun 2 very much, but probably will wait for the review of Republic of Play. Like his reviews very much, and yeah, I like more to zoom in to see the units battle each other. I saw that that Darren had released a Darren is Republic of Play, of course. I saw that he had released a new video that kind of I think the title was After the Delays, What's New in Three Kingdoms, something or other like that. And I didn't get to watch it. I kind of glanced through the comments really quick, and I did see one comment that was kind of saying like, you know, he was focusing in the video on a lot of like multiplayer features that are somewhat superficial to the game, and then only spent the last couple minutes of his video talking about game systems and mechanics that are like more integral to the changes that should have occurred due to the 2 delays, I guess it was. But yeah, watch this video. I plan to go watch it later myself and see what he has to say. But basically, he's got a new video out if you haven't seen it yet. That's what it comes out. Oh, wait a second. No, we were still chasing down archers over there. Okay, let's speed it up all the way. In terms of performance, I think the game performs pretty well. I do notice that in the larger city battles, or in the city settlement battles, when you speed it up to the ultra fast speed, there's like a little bit of a like stuttering effect in the unit animations. But other than that, the game seems to perform pretty good, and it also seems to be pretty stable. It does seem to be pretty stable. Let's see here. I don't think we're gonna need to take the replenishment on this one. I don't think we're gonna need the militaries. Oh, no, you know what? Look at this here. Our military supplies are down to 3, so let's go ahead and take the military supplies. We'll take the military supplies, which should save us a little bit of attrition. Yeah, we probably would have had attrition had we not taken those supplies. And since we just, since the garrison came out to fight us, now's probably a good time to just attack the settlement and take it. And so now let's kind of talk a moment then about like the campaign AI, because that's an interesting choice that the AI decided to come out and fight us, given the fact that we were on the verge of running out of military supplies and would have been taking attrition. I don't know how far ahead the campaign AI like looks ahead in its decision tree for those types of decisions, or if even that particular set of decisions is programmed into the AI. But I think we would have ran out of military supplies on our army and been taking attrition this turn had the AI not come out to fight us. And I think another thing the AI could have done, or maybe this is a tactic you can use as a player, maybe you can use it as the player, is if the AI is laying siege to your settlement that's a port or on the river, you can take your army out, and then your army will kind of hang out on the river, and the AI may not be able to fight and take it from your garrison. And then so what you can do is you can kind of wait for the AI to run out of military supplies, and maybe by that time your garrison will also be running out of supplies, but then you can put your army back in the settlement and have a very strong army that the AI maybe won't want to fight and attack, and then maybe the AI will take so much attrition that they like break the siege and leave. That might be a tactic you could try to keep your settlements when you're being attacked by the AI. I don't know. I just thought of it right now, so I haven't had a chance to test that. Let's see here. Is it just going to let us walk in and take the settlement? No, I guess we have to fight the battle. Now, I would normally auto-resolve this. Hello, Braden. How you doing? I would normally auto-resolve this, but I'm going to take a moment to just start the battle. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to show you some of the little details that are here on the city campaign maps, similar to what they've done on like the farm map. The question in chat is, have I tried the romanced version yet? I have not. And I'll be honest, I don't think I have any intention of playing the romance mode in Three Kingdoms. I have kind of had an itch to go back and play a historic title. I have been kind of thinking about playing Shogun 2, and I wasn't really sure if I was going to be buying, purchasing, or playing Three Kingdoms at all. That was all before I got early access, and then now that I've had early access, and I do believe I am enjoying the game, I think I will be probably playing a little bit of Three Kingdoms on the channel. I am intending to finish my Yuan Shao playthrough. but I don't think I'm going to be playing romance mode for Three Kingdoms. It just doesn't really seem to appeal to me. I think the Warhammer titles, which I've played a lot of and enjoy very much, I think those kind of scratch my itch for like the heroic battle type stuff. I don't really think I think I want my historic gameplay to just be historic, I guess. Best way to say it. Okay, so while we were laying siege, we were sapping, and so you can see now what's happened here is we've got a few broken wall sections that we can move through easily, and some of the towers and stuff have been destroyed. And so it is worthwhile to do the sapping. I can't really think of any reason why I would make siege engines. I haven't made siege engines as part of siege equipment since maybe Rome 2. They're never very useful, I don't think. Now, what I wanted to do, the reason I loaded the map up, is I wanted to show you all the attention to detail that's been placed in here on the on these maps. And so, very similar to the farm map that we fought on earlier, there are peasants that are kind of walking around in here. They look a little confused. You got these like little cart tracks and things that are present in the landscape. These are the barricades that, it looks like, the inhabitants just piled on whatever they could. And there's just a lot of signs of life, attention to detail thrown in here. You got these lanterns, you've got these trade stations, these little, like whatever this is, seems like it's kind of broken down. Maybe if we had assaulted the settlement on the very first turn, maybe there wouldn't be so much damage and stuff in here. I've never opened a city or settlement battle on the very first turn where it had walls. I've always kind of laid siege and sapped. So I'm expecting if I were to have fought this on the first turn that all of this wouldn't be quite as broken. But just like look at this map and compare it to, say, the Shogun 2 city maps. The Shogun 2 city maps, they were very beautiful, they were very nice, but they really only had like one or two little buildings on the map. And from what I can remember, it's been a long time since I played Shogun 2, but when you look at these maps, you could just really see there's just so much more attention to detail, signs of life. Even when you compare it to the Rome 2 maps, the Rome 2 maps don't even really have a lot of stuff like this within the map. See, like, we can take our troops. Can we deploy them in here? Okay, this is one thing I kind of don't like. This is all, you can't like move through this stuff. I kind of wish you could, but in any case, let's come in here and take this finally. I've been rambling. That's kind of the purpose of the stream, though. This is just kind of like a preview stream with my early access. Show you a little bit of the gameplay, share some of my thoughts and opinions. Anybody who maybe finds this between now and any time after release, I hope they find it helpful. I hope maybe they might consider checking out some of my other videos and content on the channel and subscribing if they enjoy it. If they don't, that's quite okay. I don't mind. But yeah, just wanted to, give people kind of, some of my thoughts and opinions on the game while playing it. Now, if you do happen to migrate from this video into my regular Let's Play stuff, I think my regular Let's Plays move a lot faster than the live streams. Live streams always move a little bit slower because you're interacting with chat, and for some reason, like this live stream, I feel like I want to explain a lot of my impressions about the game. If this were a Warhammer live stream or something like that, I'd be more focused on the gameplay, and also Warhammer, I'm much more familiar with the UI, the game mechanics, how everything interacts, so I don't have to like hunt down and look for things in the user interface. So it just moves a little quicker. And so now let's speed things up here really quick. I don't really even know like why we have to fight the battle. Let's just take our cavalry and just run right through the center of the map. I guess all we have to kill here is this Saber Cavalry unit. So let's just go do that real quick. I just wanted to show you guys the map and talk about it a little bit. I really like it. You can see here we've now got this this like nice sunset effect. Wait, hold on a second here. I'm gonna back up for a second. I want to see something. I'm just gonna take this tower and take this tower. I think the capture point was right there. I want to see something here. Is the sun moving through the sky? I can't tell if it is or isn't. I don't think the sun is moving through the sky. But there's definitely lighting changes as I guess the clouds are moving overhead. So that's kind of cool. That was kind of cool. You know, it'd be a really cool feature, Creative Assembly, if you watch my stream and then you watch it for how long now? An hour and a half. You know, it'd be really cool is if the battle map slowly like progressed into the evening. That would be like a neat feature. Okay, so let's charge into these guys now. Like, imagine if the sun slowly set as the battle went on, and it changed the whole lighting and dynamics of the settlement in the city. That would be so cool, especially as you can set infrastructure and buildings and stuff on fire, like having everything like burning as the campaign battle map transitions from like a sunset down into the the evening and stuff like that. That would be cool. That would be cool. I would like to see that in a Total War. I won't begrudge Creative Assembly if they never include it in this one, though. I won't get mad at them. Okay, once again, we have our secure and occupy option, but it costs minus 30 lineage. This is double the lineage it would have cost earlier for the farm. When we took the farm, it would have only cost 30. So it apparently it changes. I don't know if it changes based on it being a city versus a small resource outcropping settlement thingy, or if I don't know if the size of the city has an impact. Like if this had been a level 10 city, would it be more than 30 lineage? I don't know that. But we are going to occupy. Miguel says, very helpful, and I'm really good at calmly showcasing the game. Yay, a little golf clap for me. Really enjoyed it, but they have to leave, and we'll try to come back and watch the rest later. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm glad I could be of service and help you out. And if you do purchase the game, I hope that you enjoy it if you do. Okay, so looking here, hold 3 settlements. We have completed that mission. And now, mission issued. Send any character on assignment, and we'll get +8 to our lineage. That's this up here. That's our faction's special resource. And so, since we have the mission to put characters on assignments, I would imagine that it's available here in the user interface. And lo and behold, it is. So let's see. Who do we want to put on assignment here? Well, I guess it kind of depends on who we have. So let's just go ahead and go to our capital settlement and click on assignments. And let's look at what would the options be. So we could get extra income from commerce. And what's our commercial income currently? We have 150 from commerce. So it's 120 plus 25%. So it would be 120 plus 100%, I guess. So would it then, I guess it would then go up to a total of 240. That could be good. We have these other options here. Oversee mustering. Mustering takes -3 turns. Now, I wonder if that means that when you muster troops that they come on more fully replenished. I wonder if that's what that means. I don't really know. It's hard to say. Plus 15% replenishment. Now this is a big assignment, okay? Because replenishment in Three Kingdoms is much slower than previous Total Wars. Sometimes it's only as little as like 2 or 4%. And so if you suffer massive casualties during a battle, it could take you a while to get back up to strength. And so anywhere in Three Kingdoms where you can boost your replenishment, you should look into that for your campaigns. And we can increase income from peasantry. Well, what I think we're going to do, since we just occupied Hanoi, and we're going to try to take the farm as well, we are going to boost replenishment in here. So we click on the character, and then we have we can choose between one or the other. We're going to go ahead and assign the replenishment. It's going to take 1 turn for it to take effect, I think, and then it does take 1 turn or 5 turns for them to get there. Yeah, so we got to wait 1 turn for it to be in effect. But then if we come over here to yay, I'm not sure how we say it. I think I'm going to do the boost to commerce. So let's go ahead and assign that. This is going to last 15 turns. And again, it takes 1 turn to take effect. Another thing we could do is if we go into the character candidates. Okay, so now that we're here looking at our characters or our court, we can see that this is the icon for people being on assignment. And it's going to take a while to learn all the icons of the interface. The user interface is very, very, very icon heavy. And then I think this means he's a general, employed as a garrison general. Anyways, so these guys are on assignment. We could recruit characters from over here, which would mean that we could like put them on assignment. But one thing I have trouble with, and I'm a little bit, it's a little bit frustrating, is so like, let's click on Shen Pei over here. Shen Pei is a champion. No, I want to pick somebody else. He's a commander. Okay, I guess the one I had initially is good. Mao Jie. Mao Jie is a strategist. Able to severely impair the efficiency of enemy units and generals in the battle. They also provide use of formations to nearby friendly units. However, they are extremely fragile. Best grouped with retinues of ranged infantry. And they have cunning, authority, character expertise, or character experience, I'm sorry, faction-wide. But that's only if they're a prime minister. Where was that again? They have to be a prime minister, heir, or faction leader. So we only get the 10% experience if Mao Jie is in one of these top 3 slots. But then so after all that, they respect patience. They admire intelligence. But then, okay, so he's perceptive. That's great. That's wonderful. It has a little 10% chance of capturing enemy officers post-battle. That's if he's in one of your forces. That's all really great. Military-wise, yeah, okay. We got some stuff here. And then we can look at his military stats. And then we can look at some of this stuff. But you know what it doesn't tell me? In all of this stuff right here, it doesn't tell me what he does if I put him on an assignment. And that's kind of annoying because you have all these candidates over here that you could hire. But it's like, I have no idea, what does this person do if I put them on assignment? And all of these different characters and stuff, they have all these like the unit cards down in the corner. In the bottom left, everything is colored. Okay, there's a lot of color-heavy indicators in Three Kingdoms. So if we go over here and we look at our army, we can see that all of our missile units are blue, and all of our infantry are green, and then our cavalry units are yellow. But then also, this guy's a cavalry unit, but he's green. So I'm confused. Why is he green if he's also cavalry? It's like, that's confusing to me. But there's all these like color stuff. So then when you go in here and you look at the characters, they all have colors too. And then so it's like going back to the assignments. Do the things that characters can go on assignment for, is it dictated by their colors? Is it dictated by them being a legendary commander, a vanguard, a strategist? I have no idea. And I wish that we had that information in the user interface when you look at your candidates. Like, I don't know what this person can do if I want to put them on assignment. Like, I don't know if the assignments are dictated by them being a strategist, by their traits, by their attributes, by by these things down here. I have no idea. I wish we had some indicators on that in the user interface. Braden Rogers says that they will definitely get this game. Thanks for helping us learn how to play. I really love it, but I got to leave in a little bit. No problems. Thank you for stopping by. If you get the game, I hope you enjoy it. If it's your very first Total War, it's going to be a little bit overwhelming. If I could take another moment to kind of like ramble for a moment. Like, I've been playing Total War for 7 or 8 years. I've played Shogun 2. I've played Rome 2. I've played Attila. I have not played. I've played essentially everything but Thrones of Britannia. So that, and then I've played Warhammer, Warhammer 2, Warhammer Mortal Empires, although it's the same game. And the first 3 hours that I played this, I was just trying to figure out like where everything was in the user interface. And again, remember, I didn't watch any of Creative Assembly's live streams. I didn't watch anything. I got my early access code, I activated it, I installed it, and then I fired it up, and it was the very first time I'd ever really seen Three Kingdoms. And so as a Total War semi-veteran, you know, from Shogun 2 onward, and probably have like 2,000 hours at least across all the titles since then, maybe even 3,000. Like, it took me 3 hours to figure out how to find the settlement garrisons. Okay, it took me 3 hours to find that. It took me like 12 hours to figure out something else. I can't remember what it was. It took me like 16 hours to figure out that when you're building a building, you can instant finish it. Like right down here, this little instant construction. It took me like 15 or 20 hours to even notice this little icon. So if you do buy this based off of anything I'm saying and it's your first Total War, I'm just going to warn you, there's a lot of stuff to like dig through in the user interface and figure out how everything, just like how to do things. And that's irrespective of how the things you can do tie into the gameplay mechanics, like going over here, looking at the characters and the relationships. It's like, I've barely looked at this. I've barely had time in 40-ish hours of play to even look at this and figure out like how this affects the campaign. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff to do if you buy this. Going to be a lot of stuff to do. Yeah. Yeah, I've played quite a few hours here. Okay, so we just recently took this, I think. And there's not much else I can do right now, is there? I don't think there is. Mission success, mission issued. We're building over here. You know what we should do? We should probably repair our settlement. We got almost 5,000 in our treasury. Let's go ahead and repair 320, 300, 336. So we spent like maybe 1,500 repairing. It's going to take one turn across the board. You don't have to repair, by the way. You can, like if you know you don't want the building, you know that you can straight away just demolish it. But before you can upgrade it or do anything else, I'm pretty sure you have to repair it. And you can also, if we go into the building browser and we look at, say, what is this? If you right click on this, it'll highlight it in the building browser. You can do the repair straight from here, although it doesn't seem that you can demolish. You can't demolish a burning building straight from here. You can only demolish it from over here. You can cancel the demolish from in here. So it's like there's a little bit of inconsistency between the building browser and the building slots over here. Hopefully, I think I would like CA to kind of clean that up a little bit sometime down the road as maybe a quality of life improvement. And then let's look at our guys right here. Vanguard, Strategist, Commander. Let's go over here. A Sentinel. We've got lots of money. I have no idea what a Sentinel does. Oh, and he's also a Saboteur. See, there's like, they're a Sentinel, but then he's also a Saboteur. The heck does that mean? Saboteur apparently affects the traits and things that they have. Black market investigation, +10 maximum cover when spying, blah, 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 blah. Let's go ahead and recruit him, though. And then what's this guy? Commander, Champion. Do we have any commanders in here? I would imagine that, yeah. Yuan Shao is a commander. He's a champion. Other commanders. Okay, Lady Liu is a commander. And then now we have our Sentinel. Let's go back to our characters. Let's just waste a little bit of money. Because, again, I'm not planning on finishing this campaign. I'm just kind of, like, exploring. Let's get Song Mingan. I hope I said that right. So then let's pop back into here. Let's just look at the assignments really quick. Show unavailable. Song Mingan. Can I now open you over here as well so I can see, like, more about you? No, it closes the assignment window. And now I can't get the assignments back without. Darn it. Okay, so what are you? Can I, like, see, like, now I can't see everything else that this guy is. I don't know all of his other stuff. But so stimulate markets, reward the Fililio and Incorrupt. Okay, but without an assignment slot available, I don't actually know what they do. Let's go look at you again. And he was the strategist. Okay, that's cool. Let's pop in here. Nope. Assignments. Show available again. And the other person that we recruited was this guy. He was a sentinel. Supervise construction, exploit black market. Right? This guy, he was a sentinel. So, you know, there's a few user interface panels where like it kind of cuts off some of the information that might be helpful to like make your strategic decisions. And so I find myself having to bounce back and forth between a lot of UI panels to kind of get the big picture. And I'd prefer if I didn't have to do that. Let's go ahead and end our turn, though. We got to pick a new reform. Last time we went over here. And is this what we picked? I don't even know. I think it was. Yeah, okay, so let's do this. So now we can get another +1 trade agreements. So as we're selecting these here, it's opening up our trade agreements. So I guess now, before we end our turn, we should probably go ahead and engage in a little bit of diplomacy. So we are trading already with Gao Gan, Wang Quang. We're married to Liu Dai, or we're married to somebody in his faction. So I think it might make sense to try to negotiate trade. Both factions must have a free trade route and share a border. Well, we're right across the river from each other. I guess that doesn't count. That's a little disappointing that we can't do that. Well, then let's back out of here with Liu Dai, and let's try to open up trade with Han Fu. So this is going to give us another 348. It's a plus 3.4 in our favor. And so then I always like to request regular payments. You get a little bit more from regular payments over 10 turns than you do a flat sum. However, if you do regular payments, you may not get the full amount because the AI might break all agreements with you because of one reason or another. Maybe they get wiped out. Maybe they declare war on you. I mean, you know, so just be cautious of that in your own diplomacy. But I like to go after regular payments. And so let's see here. Let's just crank this up a bit. So somewhere in between 96 and 106 is the sweet spot. Let's just try 100. We could probably try for like 101, blah, blah, blah. But now we're going to get 100 per turn for 10 turns. That's 1,000 overall. That's really good. That's really good. I like that. And now I think we are ready to end our turn. If we pop in here and open up the treasury, though, we can see that we're expected to earn 5,200 next turn. No, I'm sorry. Our treasury is going to be 5,200 and some change next turn. We have 3375. We're earning 1843. And then we can see what we're earning here from trade. So our 3 trade agreements are bringing in 1,020. The pop-up is kind of nice. You can see on the left who we're trading with and what we're getting for each one. Very helpful. We can see all of our commanderies here. We can see some of our diplomacy here. So what is this? Is this our income from diplomacy? This includes regular payments and tribute. Okay, so this is where we see our payments per turn and I guess tribute from vassals and stuff like that. So that's really cool that we can see that there. Other, I don't know, there's no pop-up to tell me what other represents. Military, so these are one-offs. This is one-off income that's on the way in. So, you know, we've earned 773 for military actions this turn. And it even breaks it down in terms of looting captives and post-battle, which is not really necessary, but kind of neat. And if we look at our expenses, we're spending 4,300. Here's our regular out, 2,900 per turn. So we're spending 2,900 per turn. No, are we? I'm not sure. No. Okay, so our 1843 is the result of this number minus that number. Okay, yeah. Good job, Superfiend. You figured it out. And then we have a one-off out expense from construction this turn. And again, it breaks it down to building construction. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you got a lot of good information here. And you can set taxes. It's currently locked for us. We need a higher faction rank to influence taxation in our realm. So eventually you can, move the dial around here and change taxes. It's not like Shogun 2 where it's a per settlement or per commandery tax setting. It's more like Rome 2 where it affects all of your territory at once. And let's see here. If you want to know what turn you're currently on, you go up here into the top left. It's kind of hidden from you. You don't really get a sense of like how many turns am I into the campaign. It's like it's not readily visible on the campaign map, which I think is actually kind of a nice change, really, for me. Okay, phew. I was thinking, like, why are you coming in here and attacking me? But this is Han Fu. We have a confederation with him, so we should be fairly safe. Zhang Yan declared war on... This gets me every time I read it. Zhang Yan declared war on Zhang Yang. God, could that be any more confusing? From each according to their ability. Mission success. So our lineage has increased a little bit. What was the mission? Send any character on assignment. So our assignments have helped us there. Mission issued. Reached faction rank 2nd Marquis. So we're 10... what is the resource? We're 10 prestige. Okay, we're 10 prestige away from our next faction rank. Challenge issued. Destroy the following factions. Han Fu. Well, why would I do that? We have a coalition with them. Well, that's interesting. I don't think I want to destroy Han Fu. Han Fu's supplication. What the heck is going on here? Although your borders are secure, your reserves have been strained by the countless volunteer warriors who rose to oppose the tyrant. One advisor suggests exploiting the tensions between Han Fu and Gongsun Zhan to your benefit. Suggest to Han Fu that Gongsun Zhan is eyeing his territory and propose a confederation. Gongsun Zhan will be vexed, but we will benefit. Okay, so we got option A and option B. Option A is Han Fu. Option B is Gongsun Zhan, who's completely neutral to us. Han Fu is very friendly to us. So we can confederate Han Fu, and I'm pretty sure that means that we will absorb their territory. And I guess follow the story means that's the way it unfolded in Chinese history. Just guessing. Maybe seen as an act of treachery. I don't know about that. Yuan Shao confederates Han Fu, and then war declared Yuan Shao and Gongsun Zhan. So we will, if we choose confederate, we will end up at war with Gongsun Zhan. Do not interfere, and then that gives us good diplomatic relations with Gongsun Zhan. Now, another thing that's like a little bit troublesome here is I can't click on any of the other stuff. So like right now, it'd be really helpful to know if Han Fu and Gongsun Zhan are at war with each other or at peace with each other. I don't know how they feel about each other. So like if I choose do not interfere, does that mean that Han Fu is going to get absorbed by Gongsun Zhan? It's like I can't tell any of that from this screen. And so, and it's kind of a common gripe I've had with Total War titles for a while now, is that when you get the dilemmas, it's a modal box. You can't look at anything else in the UI. So it makes it really hard to make a strategic decision about exactly what you want to do, especially when it affects things like diplomatic relations, who's at war with who, and then now we've got this whole relationship system that can be affected by it, and it's really hard for you to know in your campaign all of those things, like to know everything about what's going on. And so then when you get a dilemma like this, it makes it hard to make a strategic choice about what you want to pick. And so one thing I'd like to see Creative Assembly do at some point is when we get a dilemma like this, to not make it modal, to allow us go and explore the other user interface elements so that we can make an informed choice that affects the strategy that we want to employ. Having rambled about that, I'm going to pick Confederate. That puts us at war with Gongsun Zhan, and now we're going to have a little bit more action, I guess, because we're at war with somebody to the north. Mission issued. Establish your power. Reach faction rank Duke. Now this is... oh, we got to go all the way up to Duke. Okay, so... Well, I guess we reached this then, because we were 10 away from reaching this, and now we got to go all the way up to here. Your power increases. Second marquee. Yep. Okay, so mission success. Our lineage also increases. +8 lineage. Okay, good. Yuan Shao, through wisdom, defeats Han Fu. So, destroy the following factions. I guess that's been completed by confederating with them. Destroy the following factions. Okay. Faction confederated. That's us. Yuan Shao declared war on Gongsu Zhan. Yep. Dynasty. With this increase in rank, China comes another step closer to breaking the chains of tyranny. Chains that will be broken by me, Yuan Shao. I must keep pushing onwards. So we get some bonus experience for stuff that's happened. Whew. What a mouthful. What a mouthful. I'm going to go ahead and close like all this stuff. You right click on these to close them, by the way. Commandery secured. This is the settlement of Anping, which was Han Fu's. Now it's ours because we've confederated them. Trade. Mission issued. Our power increases. Mission. Confederated. Diplomacy. Dynasty. Okay, good. And so now, because we've confederated, we've also absorbed some armies here that were previously Han Fu. Let's go ahead. Let's look at our family tree. So how does this happen now? So Han Fu and Han Tong. These are some people that we just absorbed. We've probably absorbed some other characters as well, but there's no more Hans in here. By the way, if you don't know Chinese naming structure, the last name is presented first. So Yuan and Wen, this is the last name, and then Shao and Shu, Shang, those are the first names. So when you look down here, we just confederated Han Fu, and so the other people down here named Han are most likely the ones that are related to Han Fu. So like Zhang He, Xingping, I'm not going to try this one. They're probably just regular characters that we absorbed, but Han Tong is probably a family member of Han Fu. And in fact, if we go over here to characters, and we now find Han Fu, can we click on him? This is interesting. Let's go ahead and search for Han. Really? There's no more Hans in here? What? Okay, what's going on with the search? That's interesting. The search maybe is not working correctly. I don't know. But so anyways, let's go back in here to what I wanted to do. Han Fu, this is who we confederated. We could do this. We can sort by our faction. So Yuan Shao. Okay, so Han Fu, and there's another Han in here. Wait a second now. Now I'm really confused. Is this our Han Fu, or is it another Han Fu on the map? Oh, come on now. I think it's our Han Fu. And then it takes me all the way out of there. What I wanted to see is I wanted to go over here to Han Fu. I wanted to see him in the characters, and then I wanted to see if his relationships with his family member came over. And it doesn't really seem like that's the case. I can't tell. All right, forget it. I'm not gonna waste any more time trying to figure that out. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to take Jinping. I'm gonna take Han Fu. What, can we not? Why can't we move him? It's the beginning of our turn. Can't we move this guy? Okay, I guess we can't quite move him yet. What I want to do is looking up here. We're at war with the Han Empire all over. Yuan Shao over here. We're going to take this farm soon. We're pretty secure on the west because we're friendly with these guys. And then Zhang Yan. Maybe we should chase down some diplomacy with him to secure this border. But then there's Yellow Turban rebels up here. So what I want to do, and we have walls and whatnot over here in this city. So what I want to do is I want to take our 2 new armies. I want to move them over here and secure the farm, which has a decent garrison, but it's very depleted. And in fact, let's look at the city too. The city garrison is like demolished as well. So we kind of need to fortify this stuff. Looking in here, if I go to the building browser, let's look at the grain farms. Do I want to spend any time upgrading it? Maybe I do. Maybe I do. We can move Yuan Shao. We can move him. So let's well, what's our replenishment? We're pretty well stocked. Let's move up to here. Our military supplies are hurting a little bit though. We currently have 13. Change this turn is 0, so we're like pretty much breaking even. And I moved too far to encamp. I used more than 50%. What I wanted to be able to see, I want to be able to see this farm. Can I get close? Oh, come on. Can I see who's in there? I want to know how strong it is. All right. Well, I guess I'm just going to go stand on the road. Okay. I can't move these guys anymore. Do I want to build in here? Do I want to build over here? We're down to 453 per turn. With our 2 new armies, I guess. You know, we're paying additional upkeep that we weren't paying before. I can't build anything in here. Can I upgrade the harbor? No, it's all locked. Land development is locked. Government support is locked. What does this do? Income from peasantry is primarily what it gives. State workshops. What's this? Plus 200 income industry. I guess we'll leave it for now. Let's go ahead and look at on ping up here. Let's see if we can do anything interesting in here. Upgrading the farm seems decent. We are now at a plus 12 food. Government support land development. So we have these in here as well. Which one of these? What increases population growth? This one increases population growth. And these last ones here, they all eventually get up to 24,000. This is, we'll go, if we go all the way down here, looking at the top left, we'll go from 2 food production to 5 and 100 and from 90 peasantry income up to 150. This will give us more peasantry income. This will take food off of our hands. This will sell food. This gives us quite a bit of income from peasantry. Also increases our income from commerce. But it also sells food on the market, but it sells a little bit less food on the market. So I don't know what's best. I don't think we're going to play this playthrough far enough to ever find out. So I'm just going to pick this one and keep it easy. It would cost 2,650 to build this instantly in 1 turn. So we're not going to do that. And we are now 2 turns away from finishing this. And it originally was going to take 4 turns in like 2,000 to build instantly. Now that there's only 2 turns left, the instant construction option has decreased down to 1,000. So if we really wanted to, we could spend 1,000. I'm going to go ahead and do it just to show you all how it works. That finishes the building construction instantly. And if that had been a town center upgrade that gave us an extra building slot, we could start another immediate construction right now. It wasn't such a building slot, and this is all locked. So I probably just wasted the money doing that. But you know, I wanted to show you all how it worked. Okay, let's end our turn. Zhang Yan has declared war on us. So, okay. If you must. It's probably not going to work out well for you.
Fire burns.
I'm going to skip the cinematics. Okay, so Zhang Yan declares war on Yuan Shao. That's us. Followed the tyrant. Faction succeeded. That's AI faction stuff. So is this Zhang Yan? Yeah. So here's the guy that just declared war. Darn it! You know what? I should have issued the diplomacy with him. He's got quite a bit of territory up here. His territory stretches all the way around this way. He's weaker than us. He's weaker than us, but he somehow thinks he's going to declare war and win. So, okay, if you think so. Oh, and we have an open assignment. It was probably available last term. Okay, so looking in here, we could stimulate the market. We could increase satisfaction, plus 10 satisfaction by, or faction-wide plus 10 satisfaction. That's pretty significant. Actually, that's our strategist / advisor. I'm imagining. I didn't click over there. Please take me back to where I was. I'm imagining that it's one of or some combination of strategist and advisor that dictates the assignment here. And I'm just going to tell you from my play experience, plus 10 satisfaction faction wide is pretty significant. Plus food production, plus food from farming, -2 construction time for agriculture. That's kind of cool. 50% income from peasantry, not bad. -1 construction time, local commandery, -10% construction cost. I would really prefer something that increased our replenishment like we have over here in our other commandery. But I guess where did it go? I guess this one right here, the construction time reduction and the construction cost reduction is pretty good. And the reason why I like that is because it's going to allow us to upgrade this settlement a little bit faster, a little bit better. We're not going to get the bonus to the construction cost reduction for one turn, though. That's how long it takes the assignment to take effect. We also, this is something else that popped up recently as we grew in faction strength, and it's really subtle. It's really easy to miss. We can now appoint advisors. There's so much to click on and look at. So let's open up our advisory or advisor window here. And so the ones that are grayed out, we can't pick from because they're already on assignment or generals or something else. So let's look at what we have here. Lady Liu will give us 25% building upkeep reduction, reduce construction cost, and give us 1,000 population growth. Not bad. Here we have 5,000 population growth, increased food and increased reserves. Not bad. 2,000 population growth, -2% construction cost, 15 reserves. 3,000 population growth, -5% construction cost, plus food, additional food. This guy's probably not as leveled up or whatever. Only 5,000 population growth, 5,000 or 1,000 population growth, construction cost reduction. I think we're gonna go with Lady Liu. She doesn't give us as much of a population growth bonus, but she gives us a bigger construction cost reduction, and so I want to do that. And I think the way this works is now she earns a salary. It's going to cost us 300 additional income per turn, I think, to station her here as the administrator. So let's go ahead and do that. And then the other thing you'll notice now, if I click on a town that does not have an administrator, well, the button is grayed out because we only have one administrator position that we can use at a time. But now when we click over here, you can see that the administrator button has her little portrait attached to it. So it's kind of like one way you can tell that you have an administrator somewhere, but there's no other indicator on the campaign map to tell you that you have an administrator in this province. So I don't know if that's good or bad. And then also over here, there's very subtle icons over here in your character sheet for such things. So if we look at the characters here, you can see there's this little itsy bitsy tiny glyph to the left of the text description under their name. And so Basically, this means that they are currently on assignment, on assignment, on assignment. Now that's on assignments. That's on assignments. Lady Liu, there's no extra indicator for her, but now she has changed over to an administrator. And it's even more confusing, I think, because Lady Liu, the text here changed to administrator, or maybe it's always been administrator. I'm not too sure. So then you look at these other ones and you say, well, they have the icon. They're also court nobles. So maybe the text court noble indicates they're on assignment, but that's not true because you got three other people here that are court nobles that don't have the indicator. So it's a little bit muddy in terms of like what these text descriptions mean, because all of these people are like court nobles. Lady Liu is an administrator. If we open up the court, and then we have a post that's active. Okay, so now we can assign somebody as chancellor. So let's click on this. Actually, no, let's back out really quick. Court noble, court noble, court noble, court noble, court noble. Okay, it's all court nobles and administrators. So what I want to know, when we assign somebody as chancellor, will their description over there change to chancellor? Let's well, we can't pick Han Fu. Let's pick Han Fu's relative, and we'll have to pay him a salary. You can see it in the pop-up there that he'll be earning a salary. And we'll get plus 15 income from peasantry, faction-wide. Character defection can declare or can trigger a civil war. Character is part of your faction council. Okay, well, let's pick Han Tong. Let's confirm. I hope I didn't go negative now in my income per turn with the assignment and that other thing. And so now Hong Tong is now listed here as a chancellor. So what I guess is that court noble, like these are all court nobles down here. And when it says court noble, they're not really assigned to anything. If it changes to administrator, then I guess that means they're in an administrator position. And then Han Tong, we just set the chancellor, so his description changed to chancellor. I guess what I would like prefer is instead of putting this little icon here, if they also changed the text on the three people that are on assignment, it would be nice if the text changed to indicate assignment in addition to the icon. Just a little like UI gripe that I have, I suppose. Okie dokie. Can we move a little further here with this guy now? So let's creep up. I want to see if there's anybody in this farm. There's not. At least I don't see anybody. But I also can't get all the way there. So I'm going to move up 50%. We're going to go ahead. We're going to encamp so that we're not losing military supplies too quick. Can we build anything over here? I guess we can upgrade these. And then I'm going to go ahead and... this guy's stack is fully replenished. And so I'm going to stay in the forced march stance so that I can get all the way to this farm and reinforce the garrison from attack from these factions up here. The reason I'm going to do that in forced march is because I'm worried about them showing up soon, and his army is already fully replenished, and so it doesn't hurt us to be in the forced march stance unless we end up in a battle the next turn. We'll be fatigued in battle, but forced march also disables replenishment. But we're already fully replenished, so we don't need to worry about the disable replenish penalty. Let's move up over here as well with Han Fu. Okay, 3 turns of building there. Let's open our building browser. Okay, we can't build that. Land development. No, you know what I want to do? We're building this one. And you can only upgrade one thing in a commandery at a time. So it's going to take 3 turns, so we can't build anything right there. We're not building anything here. Can we upgrade this yet? No. We need 3,000. And now we're not really earning a whole lot per turn. Let's go back to our diplomacy. Let's see if we can, like, initiate some sort of trade with somebody. Yuan Shao, where are you at? Can we get a trade agreement with you? Let's try a quick deal. And so trade agreement's not even an option. So there's nobody that we could currently trade with right now anyways, I don't believe. What about... Okay, so I guess some of the other options like trade food and stuff like that don't show up in that list. Let's go back into diplomacy and let's go over to negotiate. Let's switch this again. Gaogan, Zhang Chao, Zhang Yang. Now where's Chang Yang? He's over here to the west of Gaogan in Wang Quang. We share some common enemies, and they're also trading with Wang Quang as well. So let's negotiate in here. Let's pick trade and marriage. Let's offer food trade because we have 12 food. We got quite a surplus. Let's offer them 5 food. That's what happens when you start to stream a little bit too long. I just gave them 5 food. I didn't ask for anything in return. So they're going to really like us. Oops. Okay, let's try again, but this time let's not screw it up. Let's offer a food trade. Let's give this guy like 3 food. Let's not forget to request regular payments. Like, what would 500 do? No, that's terrible. 100. Ooh, so we're going to be able to get more than 100 per turn out of this. Oh, wow. We're going to be able to get quite a bit. Let's try 190. No. 188. So we're going to give them 3 food for 10 turns. They're going to give us 188 per turn for 10 turns. So, and a total of 1,800 over the course of the next few turns here. Pretty good deal. Helps our income per turn a little bit. Let's zoom back down here. I absolutely screwed up that other food deal with the other faction. That stinks. Okay. That's as much as we could do there. Assignments, appointments. Let's just like click and make sure. Yeah, there's nothing else we can really do right now. Let's go ahead and sort by satisfaction. We got one person who's really mad. Rulon. I don't know. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go in here. We're going to select them. Oh, we could promote them. I did not know you could promote people. But we're not going to do that. We're going to release them from service instead. Because they're not happy. They're not happy, so we should let them go be free if they come back to us and it was meant to be. Okay, Zhang Yan declared war on Yellow Turban Rebellion. Kang Zhu declared war on Zhang Chao. Coming of age, Han Lian. Glorious day, this child has come of age. She is ready to serve your faction. It's a she. Let's go check this out. Where'd they go? Can I make them like a faction heir? Who was it again? Han Lian. Okay. So this is another Han who's now turned 18 years old. I guess they were part of the Confederation that we did a little while ago. And so they're not really part of our family. So I guess what we would have to do is go to family tree. They would have to like marry in to somebody. Well, no, over there we can make heir. So we can make this guy the heir, or this guy. What's the difference between the two of them? Is this grayed out, or can I actually do it? Might upset other characters. Might upset other characters. Okay, well, Yuan Xi is going to become our heir. Okay. Well, now we got an heir. So what about? Can we like marry anybody? Well, they're not of age yet. So I guess in another year they'll have come of age, and maybe we can marry them off to Han Lian if we would like to. And if we do that, perhaps they then start having children. I don't know. Don't know how it all works. Kind of basing it a little bit off of just what I assume would happen based on Shogun too. Let's go ahead and take the farm here, and we're gonna go ahead and I think we can just delegate this one. We lost 89. We lost 89 troops, so the auto resolve was relatively fair. We'll occupy. Commandery and conquer. With this commandery claimed, all of China knows the Yuan name and the prestige associated with it. Let us continue, that my name may be heard louder in every land. Okay, cool. And then now that puts us right up against Yuan Shao. Can we have a peace treaty with him? No, we cannot. I'd kind of like to have a peace treaty with him. I don't think I really want to worry about him too much, because we have a lot of enemies to the north, up above us there. Let's go ahead and look in here. Where can we build? I guess we can do some upgrading in Hanoi and also at Yi. I'm going to go ahead and pick this here for 2,300 to get the population growing a little bit faster. It's changing by 24,000 per turn. I don't know entirely yet all the effects that population has. We can see that right now we have an income to our, or a bonus to our peasantry income. There will eventually be a bonus to replenishment and a bonus to settlement administration cost. However, and there's no penalties to public order. So I'm guessing that as the population goes up, we will start having penalties to public order from the population. And there are a few buildings in here. I think like the conscription building. Yeah, it reduces population growth. So if you get to a point to where you're suffering too much public order penalty from too much population, maybe you want to try to build some buildings that cause the population to go down to balance out that public order. But I have not yet experienced that in my own campaign gameplay as of yet. Okay, this guy's in a normal stance. We're going to go ahead and let's embed him in the army. So we're going to merge. And then another cool thing we can do here is, where is Hanfu? So this is Hanfu, and we can appoint him to be the general. So you can click on these and choose who is the commanding general within your like war bands or armies or whatever you want to refer to them as. That's a pretty neat feature. I do like that. That's pretty good. And then let's see here. What else can we do? We just took that. Now, let's look at diplomacy again real quick. Where can I see, like, trade agreements? Like, can we do more trade agreements? I'd like to do more trade agreements. Non-aggression pact. Liu Dai will take a non-aggression pact with us. Let's negotiate that. It's relatively even. Let's also see if we can. He doesn't want to form a coalition. He also doesn't want military access. Why did it take the non-aggression pact out? Oh. Does military access automatically create non-aggression? You cannot reasonably propose a non-aggression pact while also proposing military access. So I guess the military access supersedes non-aggression. Okay, well, let's just do that then. I'm not entirely sure. Not entirely sure. Let's look at our armies. Okay, we got a little bit of movement up there, but I'm not going to move anywhere. And these guys are fairly neutral, friendly to us. We're trading with them. That's what this little icon means. And so our western border is pretty secure. There's an imperial city over here that's abandoned. We could spend 8,000 if we had that much and, I guess, occupy it. I don't know if occupying it like that hurts your army strength, like if you lose troops the way you do in the Warhammer titles. I hope you don't. But I don't know. Let's try one more time. Nah, he doesn't want that. Let's do one more thing in diplomacy. Let's look at people that are relatively even strength with us, that we're maybe not at war with. Is there anybody? No. Everybody that we're friendly with, we're pretty much stronger than. I wanted to see if we could ask for a coalition with somebody else. Can we negotiate peace with this guy? Not a chance. Not a chance. Okay, well, we'll end our turn. I'm expecting that Gongsun Zhan is going to appear relatively soon on our doorstep and maybe create problems for us. Trusting versus suspicious. Okay, so this is a relationship dilemma. As China descends into dynastic feuds, a quandary emerges between our companions as whether to be trusting or suspicious. Trust is all we have, one argues, as China falters. Another counters that in chaotic times, people look only to themselves. Nobody can be trusted. They look to you for your opinion. And so what happens is we got three options. We got trust, suspicion, or ignore. And if we choose trust, then the relationship deepens greatly between Yuan Shao and Han Fu. If we choose suspicion, then the relationship deepens greatly between Yuan Shao and Xinping. Or we can choose to ignore it and nothing happens. And then what you can choose also depends on your own personality traits, which I think is kind of cool. What's not cool is, as I said earlier in one of the other dilemmas, is there's a whole lot to keep track of in this campaign, and the relationships might eventually get pretty complicated. And so when you get these things thrown in your face and then you can't go up here and check your relationships and look at stuff, it makes it hard to make a strategic decision. I happen to know that Yuan Shao and Han Fu is the person we confederated. Okay, so I kind of know their relationship. And I know that Yuan Shao and Xinping are in the same army. And I'm going to go ahead and pick suspicion. Because they're in the same army, I want their relationship to be nice and strong, I guess. We've gained a wooden pig. And so what we can do over here is we can come back in and sort by cranky people. Here's a cranky person. Their satisfaction is at 4. So we can look in here. And we can look at giving them the wooden dog to increase their satisfaction. And they also have a skill point that we can spend. And this person, this is our chancellor? Are you kidding? Our chancellor is dissatisfied. Come on, buddy. You can't be dissatisfied. We gave you a nice position. It's ridiculous. We're going to go ahead and give him Guile, I guess. So is this changing? What's happening with this? Hello, Crusader Kings 2 benchmarks. How you doing today? I'll answer that question in just a minute. I did kind of answer it earlier in the stream. I'm just a little bit bogged down in here looking at this stuff for just a moment. Let's go look at our Chancellor who's not happy. I can't promote him. I have insufficient funds. Carrot. Okay, well, this guy, even though we made him the Chancellor, apparently he's dissatisfied, and character defection can trigger a civil war. So I don't know what's going to happen, but you know, we gave him the little clay pig or the wooden pig or the wooden dog, whatever it is. Let's see if his satisfaction like starts to improve. And if it doesn't improve, then I guess we'll just see if we end up with some sort of silly civil war on our hands. You know, it'd be, you know, maybe we can discover something of a game mechanic there. Down over here in the south, I'm still gonna get to the question in chat in just a moment. What we're gonna do is, you know what, our military supplies are pretty low. We're gonna take a moment here to just let our military supplies catch up. We got this guy is stationed up here. What is... we have some sort of indicator here. Oh, you know what it is? I think they all hate each other. Okay, so Zhang He... Which one of you is Zhang He? Oh, okay, so this is fun. Han Fu is apparently unhappy with Zhang He. Zhang He is apparently unhappy with Han Fu and Xin Ping. And then this guy is also unhappy. So they all hate each other, and they're just stuck here on this farm. And then we get these 3 exclamation points. Now, what is not answered for us is, like, what's the overall effect of that? Like, is there some sort of negative thing going on here? Are their stats going down? Are they becoming dissatisfied as a result of this? I mean, I don't see any big changes here in their discontent as a result of being around people they dislike. So I'm not sure, like, what effect that has. It's a little bit, it's not very clear. You think it eventually affects their satisfaction? Yeah, that would be my primary guess. And then I do know. Yeah, you can check if they're unhappy with each other in the relationships tab. So Han Fu is apparently unhappy with Zhang He. So if we go up here and we go to characters, and we find Han Fu. Apparently that's the wrong Han Fu. Where's our Han Fu? Apparently it hasn't affected them enough yet. Okay, let's open up this one and go to relationships. Okay, yeah. So when you look at it through the character sheet over here, I guess these are like minor relations, and then when they get in here into these big ones, they either really like each other or really hate each other. Because I've had like good friends in the bigger circles and more of like enemies also in the bigger circles. So I guess if they stay with angry too long, then it becomes more of a rivalry. And once they end up in here, maybe it hurts their satisfaction at that point. I don't know. I'm unsure. I do know that as they fight battles with each other, they start to become more friendly with each other. So if we wanted to manage this to the best of our ability with our minor upkeep return, what would be good for us, honestly, would be... I don't think this town has walls. So I think what might be good for us would be to come up here and try to cross this river and get into this town and take it and get them to fight battles to each other, because then they'll start to develop friendly relations. I'm pretty sure it would work that way. Unfortunately, their military supplies are also low. Your army has low supply. My general is unhappy. What's his satisfaction? His satisfaction is 72. So I don't think he's that unhappy. And we're also just kind of replenishing over here. So there's not much else we can do. We did gain a... oh, we already handed that out. Okay, so we've done pretty much whatever we can do right now. End our turn. And so... oh, we got an enemy. And... Cao Cao's declared war on us. Okay. So CK2 benchmarks, Crusader Kings 2 benchmarks has asked, what do I think of the game so far? Now, I went over this a little bit earlier in the stream, so I'll try to give the short version. I've been playing Total War for about 8 years. I started with Shogun 2. I played Rome 2. I played a little bit of Attila, although not that much. I've played the Warhammer titles. I skipped over Thrones of Britannia. I try to go look at the Reddit Total War subreddit like once a day. I'm not very active on the Creative Assembly forums. I'm not very active in Total War Center. Um, from my time in the community, I think that the general consensus is that Shogun 2 is the most polished Total War title. We know Rome 2 had a rocky start. We know that Attila had and still has performance issues, and a lot of people are kind of upset that Attila was kind of just like a reskin, like expansion type deal. Like a lot of people say Attila's not really a full game. I don't have any opinion on that. Like I didn't really play it that much. The Warhammer titles, pretty good titles, not really popular amongst some of the more historic players. And so the question, again, going back to what do I think about the game? I only got early access on Thursday. I haven't had the chance to play a campaign into the mid to late game. There's a lot of new campaign mechanics. They've made really good changes to the diplomacy. And there's a really good framework for campaign mechanics in place. Okay, so like we got the relationships, the family tree, you got assignments, you got appointments, you got all these things. You got characters that migrate through your territory that you can recruit. You have the ancillaries and the weapons and all that stuff, which is essentially the equipment from the Warhammer titles. And you got your weapon, your armor, your mount, your talisman, and your enchanted item, I think is the other slot. Can't remember. You have, you got stuff from Rome 2 is in here. It's like in Rome 2, we had cunning, authority, and zeal. And we have cunning and authority. Zeal is a trait down here, or a skill down here. But then we also have instinct and cunning and resolve, resolve and expertise. So we got some like Rome 2 type stuff in here. You've got all these character traits, which are kind of character traits have been around for a long time, I think. There's just so much that has come together in Total War 3 Kingdoms. Let me click through these really quick without reading them. Commandery settlements, they're kind of combined in a way that's they're not quite provinces. They're a little bit more like Shogun 2, where the towns really feel like their own distinct thing. But then the what would be a province in the newer titles, the minor settlements are actually represented typically by like resource locations. The resource locations have limited things that you can build in them. So it's like this farm here. I can't build walls on this farm. I can only upgrade the farm. And then the farm's a bad example, but when you go and you look at like maybe a salt mine or a trading port, these what would be minor settlements in other titles, they have narrow pathways, they have towers. So even though you can't really build walls, they're not really weak. They are a little bit easier to defend. They have decent garrisons. So the settlement commandery system is kind of a very nice marriage of like the single building or the single like slot settlements of Shogun 2 and the province system that came in with Rome 2. So it's a very nice mixing of those things. And there's a lot of aspects on the campaign map in the campaign management that are like that. And so my overall impression of the game so far in the 40-ish hours I've played since Thursday, I think Three Kingdoms is going to eventually uproot Shogun 2 as the most polished title in the franchise. I really genuinely believe it will. It's not a perfect game. I do have some complaints with the user interface. Some of them are minor nitpicks. Some of them are maybe a little bit more serious. I'm planning to put together a video on that and release it hopefully before the game is out officially. It's nothing game breaking, and it's it's little things that I think Creative Assembly could, they're probably aware of some of it, and it's just probably not low priority for them to fix. They probably got other things they're working on as the release date approaches, but it's probably like little minor things that some they may be aware of, and maybe they'll address it in a future like quality of life patch. But there's just so much on the campaign map, and there's so many different resources and toggles and all this stuff. It's really strategy games kind of have to walk a fine line between being what's considered a fun game or getting too detailed where it just becomes like a spreadsheet with a 3D interface, if that makes sense. And so if you've ever worked in an office and then you've inherited like some 10-year-old spreadsheet that's full of Visual Basic macros and other nonsense that people have to like try to maintain for business purposes or whatever, some strategy games kind of turn into that type of thing. And I think that Three Kingdoms has a lot of stuff added to it. It doesn't feel super tedious like that. I think it's got a lot more of that kind of stuff over previous Total War titles. I think players are going to have a lot of stuff to investigate, to click on, to dig through. It took me 3 hours. Like, I've been playing Total War for 8 years. It took me 3 hours to find the garrisons in the settlements. And you could say that's a UI fault. It's just, there's just so much to dig through. And there's so much to look at. And there's so much to explore. And there's so many things that it's really hard to say. You know, some of these new systems like the relationships and the marriages and the assignments and all that, as your campaign approaches the mid to the late game, I don't know yet, because I haven't played that far, if they're going to become tedious, if they're going to become significant improvements to the late game gameplay. You know, I don't know how well the AI is going to handle managing those kinds of things. I don't have answers to those yet, but the framework is there. Okay, all of these extra systems, they're there, and even more surprising, they're going to be there on day one. I mean, this is kind of stuff that it took Creative Assembly, like 2 years after the launch of Rome 2 to finally address some of the huge shortcomings players had with Rome 2 in terms of governors and the Civil War and all that stuff. I haven't played Rome 2 since they added all that, by the way, so I'm a little unfamiliar with that. But it's like, it's all going to be there on day one. How well it's going to mix into everything, I can't say. But I think eventually this is going to kind of like replace Shogun 2 as the most polished Total War title. The performance is also pretty good. I'm very happy with the performance, and it is running pretty reliable. I do expect that, like, once it hits the thousands of different PCs that exist in the wild on launch day, I imagine Creative Assembly is going to have some users, unfortunately, that can't play due to various PC either hardware, driver, or like weird software combination issues. And there's really not much they can do about that. The Warhammer titles have released with relatively few hiccups. I think Rome 2 had a lot of really bad problems on release where it wasn't working well for a lot of user PC configurations. I think from the Warhammer titles on, they've had a pretty good track record on that. So I'm hoping that Three Kingdoms doesn't get bogged down with that kind of nonsense. So if you're still in watching the chat, that's my long answer. It's I think it's gonna be a good game. I think everything's there. It just depends on if they're going to, give it the tender, loving care that they've been giving to, like, say, the Warhammer franchise since release. And if they come back like 1 or 2 years down the road and they like do even more the way they did with Rome 2 in terms of like the campaign stuff, it could become a very solid game. And I'm not a history buff. I'm not a historian. I don't know really anything about any of the historic periods in the Total War titles. It's not really my thing. I'm here for the strategy gameplay. But if there's a period in Chinese history that's similar to the fall of the samurai period in Japan, then I think that like let's say Creative Assembly eventually came back and gave like a Gunpowder-esque type update or expansion or whatever you want to call it on top of this game. I think that could be something that would be very successful if they decided to do that. I don't know. Maybe that's part of their roadmap. I have no idea. Atmosphere-wise, music-wise, artwork-wise, the game is very reminiscent of Shogun 2. It just is very relaxing. It's very tranquil. It's nice to just have the campaign map open with the music. It's very well done. It's very well done. I'm hoping that players enjoy it. I had a little bit of trouble with the unit card organization when I played my first battles. It's a little unintuitive at first. However, after playing with it for a while, I do like it better than what they've done in all the previous titles. If you don't like them, you could try turning on in the interface options here, the unit category sorting. You can turn that on and it will change, not here, but it will change on the battlefield how everything is organized. However, I think it's confusing as hell to have that option turned on when you have reinforcing armies. And so I prefer to play with the unit category sorting turned off. I think it's easier to manage your units that way. However, on the battlefield, you can't like click and drag unit cards around. So it's gonna take a little bit of getting used to for players. And I think that's one thing that Creative Assembly might be taking a lot of heat on as the major player base gets their hands on the title, because people are so used to sorting their unit cards and stuff like that. You can't like click and drag them around on the battlefield. But however, it's like if you give it a chance and you try to make it work, you don't really need it with the way the generals have their own smaller retinues and stuff. It works well. It works well, but it's an adjustment period. It's something new. It's something new. Okay, let's how's our military supplies? They're looking pretty good, and we have Gongsun Zhan coming in here, and we have somebody. Zhang Yan has appeared. We're earning 396 income per turn. And so let's go ahead and do some recruitment over here. Now, it's worthwhile when you recruit to kind of look at some of these traits. Sometimes they give bonuses to certain troop types. Cunning. And it's usually the blue ones. It's usually the blue ones. So if we look at his attributes here, nothing significant in there. Perceptive. So this guy has a 10% chance of capturing enemy officers post battle. That's pretty cool. When you capture officers and stuff, you have a chance to execute them, and you can steal their really good weapons and items. It's pretty neat. You don't exactly get to choose what you get from the list of stuff they have equipped, but you can steal unique items and whatnot. It's pretty cool. I do like that. Okay, so anyways. Oh, these ones down here. Okay, who are we looking at again? Character experience, replenish supplies, blah, 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 blah. Okie dokie. We have medium spear infantry. These are spear guards. They're pretty tough. They're pretty durable. Not bad troops. Saber militia, pretty good. Can we see what is in this army? What are we up against here? Mounted Saber militia. If I click on this AI unit, I want to draw your attention to the ranged block chance right here. 65%. The enemy cavalry or the cavalry units have some pretty good like inherent missile unit defense. You're not going to be melting missile units on or cavalry units on the battlefield with like one or two archer groups. It takes a lot of missile fire to melt cavalry troops that have a good block chance. And the same thing goes with the generals. They do not die easy. They do not die easy. So anyways, going back to this. Missile unit, missile unit, missile unit, missile unit, missile unit, missile unit, missile unit. He's got a few missile units. He's got quite a few more than we do, honestly, because we don't really have any. So let's recruit, and if we can afford it, 910. We can buy one unit of mounted Saber militia for ourselves. They're going to come in very weak at only 13 members in the unit. Good replenishment though, 2 little pluses there. And if we look here at our garrison, I'm hoping that if this guy attacks us, we can win the battle. I don't know that we can. We'll see how we do. And then who is this here? Gongsun Zhan. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna select this guy. We're gonna go into an ambush stance right here. And we're just going to see how far forward he moves. We might be able to catch him out of position. Maybe able to catch him out of position. And then lots of diplomacy stuff happened. Somebody else declared war on us. It was Cao Cao. So where is he at? He's way down here. You can see his faction border ever so slightly just right in here. So he's going to have to come up through Liu Dai's territory to get to us. Are they friends, enemies? What are they? We don't really know. No, I wanted to click on Liu Dai. It's like it's hard to say how Liu Dai feels about Cao Cao. I don't know. Can't tell you from this screen. Okay. Well, it looks like we're gonna get some battle here, some action. One thing that might be smart. You know, we have a lot of food. 5 prestige. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take this army. We're gonna pull back to, say, here. We have an 85% ambush chance right here. I like that. We're gonna pull back to here. We're gonna ambush. That's gonna put our farm in a really bad position, but the AI probably can't pass up that opportunity. And then what we're gonna do, he's got lots of spear guard. Black Mountain Marauders, what are these guys? They scare people. They don't have any ranged block chance, neither do the G militia. So he's probably gonna assault our farm. He's probably gonna take it. What we're gonna try to do is cause as many casualties as we can, and then somehow get like a counterattack. Should we add another unit of... These are 400, 100 per turn. Yeah, let's add one more unit there. And then you know what else we could try? It's diplomacy. Go into diplomacy. Gaogan. We got a little bit too much on our doorstep right now. It's kind of the issue. Let's see if we can fix that. Let's offer a food trade. We got to be careful though, because we're going to lose the farm. We don't want to offer so much food that when we lose the farm, we become negative. We can request a payment. We might be able to request max. Okay, let's try 2,000. 2,000 is too much, huh? That's with 8 food. Let's try 900. No. Let's try... No, what the heck was it just at? Oh, hell. 882. Let's try 875. No. 870? No. I hate that you have to click in here. 65. You have to hit enter before this thing updates, but then after you hit enter, it takes the cursor out, so you got to like click back into it. It's silly. So that gets us 865. Let's do that. I have a plan here. And then nope, back into diplomacy. That was Gaogan. Let's go into Wang Fang. No, Wang Fangye. What happened here? Who are you? Trade territory. No. Let's do request food trade, offer food trade. We can. Are we already trading them food? Trade agreement. Oh, this is everything all together. Okay, so we have the trade agreement, the food. What I want. Let's cancel. Are we offering food to Liu Dai? We are receiving payments from Liu Dai. Oh yeah. So this is dangerous. Our income per turn may change very soon because we've got a lot of little deals where we're getting paid per turn. So this could be misleading. We could be on the verge of like going negative income per turn if we're not careful. Faction council. What the heck is this? This will generate mission. Oh, that's okay. So now that we've put somebody in here and to our faction council, there's a new thing that we can click on. Okay. I didn't know about that. Let's look at our trade. No, diplomacy. See, like, I don't know how soon any of these are ending. I don't know how quickly we're gonna lose all of that per turn income that we have from trade deals. Well, in any case, let's go back to Liu Dai. No, let's somebody that we're not at war with. Okay, cancel this. Sorry, I'm still like a little bit noobish in here in the in this menu. We're giving food. Wenshu. Can we negotiate with this guy and give him some food? Offer food trade. Okay, this is what I want. I want to offer some food trade, and I want to request a payment. Maximum 6,000, whatever it is. 1,000. We can go even higher. That's fantastic. Okay, we're gonna give him 8 food for 10 turns. We're gonna get some a one-time lump sum out of that. And so the reason I spent the time doing all that is because now we're gonna go in here and we're going to recruit some troops, more troops. But now we're negative income per turn, so I don't want to recruit too many more than that. Okay, that looks good. So we're gonna fight the battle here at the farm and then try to counterattack, and then we'll see what we can do with Gongsun Xan. Time for another reform. I'm not gonna put a lot of effort into this for this stream. It's just I'm not familiar with the tech tree and all that. So okay. Wenshu wants a non-aggression pact. He wants us to give ancillaries for that. No. I'm not going to give you any of my ancillaries. Okay, so here they come. They're going to fight the farm. They did not fight the farm. That's strange. I would have expected that they would attack the settlement. Okay. The following generals have been recalled from their assignments. Yang Yang. Okay, so we don't have any assignments we can give. It's going to take 1 turn for this guy to come back from his assignment. That's fine. Gongsun Xan is sitting right outside of our settlement. Can we catch him? We can't catch him. Not quite yet. And so here's what we're going to do. I'm very surprised that they didn't push forward and attack the farm. I don't know why they wouldn't have. Let's move a little bit more this way. We're going to move a little bit more this way. I want to see if we can catch this guy. And we're going to go into an ambush stance here. And we're going to move a little bit closer up this way. We have 70% chance here. Okay, still have 70% chance. And let's go ahead and ambush. Yuan Shao of the Yuan Shao faction. I wanted to see if we could get a peace agreement with them. I don't want to worry about them coming in here on our backside. We've already got Liu Dai probably heading up this way, and I don't know what this guy's doing. Anyways, that's as much as we could do right now. No, it's not. We got a skill point we can spend. Again, I don't know these very well. I guess we'll pick this one where he has a higher chance of evading capture post-battle. He's not anywhere where he would be captured, but, well, down the road, maybe it'll be useful. We don't have enough money to spend right now on building any infrastructure or anything. We got to, like, get some of these guys out of here and then maybe get rid of some troops or something like that. Because right now we're negative per turn. Okay, Gongsun Xan lays siege. They have now appeared at the farm. We're not going to win this battle, but we are going to try to cause some casualties. So I'll just start the battle and see how we do. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get absolutely smashed. We might be able to wipe out, like... we might be able to wipe out, like, 1 or 2 of their, missile units. We're gonna try to wipe out some missile units. That's as much as we could hope to accomplish here. So we'll just wait patiently. It might be smart for me to move into the trees here. But I don't think it's gonna matter all that much. So let's speed it up. And as they get a little bit closer... Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna send these guys this way. Those are their crossbows firing, so we might as well just, like, charge forward. As our infantry moves closer, their missile units will fire on us. And so what we can do is we can double up on these units here with our missile units. So our goal right now is very much to just wipe out these 3 missile units if we can with our missile fire. So let's see what kind of exchange or what kind of damage we're doing here on their missile units. This unit's taking a lot of damage. This unit's taking fire from 2 of ours. Our units are not doing good. This unit's breaking. That unit's breaking. These are their crossbowmen. I'm not going to try to wipe out the crossbowmen. Okay, those guys have broken, so we don't really have a lot of time left to fire on their missile units with our missile units. These guys are broken. Shoot these guys in the middle. And then we're going to get locked into combat here. So let's watch things on our side. And we'll watch some of the unit animations and whatnot in here for people who care about that. This stream has been very light on the zoom ups and the battles. We've been mostly goofing around in the campaign map. You can see that some of our back rank units are still firing with their missiles, although not very much. And now it's pretty much over. So we'll back out there. So if we're lucky, we did a little bit of damage to their missile units. But I don't think we're anywhere near strong enough to counterattack and take the farm back right now. So now we may also be a little bit negative with our food on the campaign map, which is probably not good. Yeah, we're at -7. That's bad. Settlement lost. That's okay. We'll get it back. I'm not that worried. And so what we're going to do here is Gongsun Zhan is now he's in bad shape because he's got himself way out of position. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up behind him. Okay. And then with this army here, we're gonna initiate the battle with our weaker force once we come out of ambush stance. Oh darn, we can't initiate with him. Well, maybe we can. Let's try. Oh, darn. I wanted these guys to initiate the battle because I think that might help their friendship better. But, now it looks like we'll just have to attack here. Oh, no. Looks like we're going to have to fight with the garrison. And so we get everything. It's still anticipating that it's going to be not super huge of a decisive victory. Something of a decisive victory. So we'll fight this battle. And I think what we're going to do is wipe this guy out, pursue him down, and maybe do a couple more things on the campaign map. And possibly wrap things up. I think we're at the 3-hour mark right now, give or take. That's a pretty long stream. Pretty long stream. Okay, let's continue. And so we have some reinforcements coming on back there. I hope that's our full stack. And we have reinforcements coming on way back here. And the map edges are quite a distance away from the deployment zone. So it does take some time for your reinforcements to get into range of your armies. So who do we have here? We have... Oh, so because she's the... She's the administrator. She's also part of the battle. Okay, that's kind of cool. I like that. And so we get 2 mounted Saber militia from her. And then we have our G infantry captain. We have another unit of mounted Saber militia. And then so we'll... That's really cool that when they're on assignment, they become part of the garrison. I like that. It's another way you can beef up your garrisons relatively strongly. Okay, so now let's take our 3 units of archers and put them back here. And everybody is hidden, so the AI should have no idea that we're over here. This is an open field battle outside of our settlement. Okay, and so now we have reinforcements entering the field. And this is why, really quick, I'm going to show you why I like the unit cards this way. So with all these reinforcements, it's very easy to see like who's part of who. Okay, and then we have people coming on over there. It makes it fairly easy. If you go into here and you turn on the unit card sorting, good luck organizing this. Like, you can't drag these around. You can't do anything with them. So it's just it's an absolute mess to deal with the sorted unit cards and reinforcements. I don't like it. Okay, but what we're gonna do here, because we don't have a lot of time to think about it, is we're just gonna like move everything up that way. I want to get way over here. Let's quickly get these guys into the trees over here. Okay, they are sending their cavalry very quickly up to challenge us. Well, no, let's wait. Now, these are lance cavalry. I'm expecting that they don't have shields and are possibly even weak to missile fire. That's Saber militia. And then we have some white horse fellows. And then we have more cavalry over there. So I'm guessing that their cavalry has taken up position over here, outpaced their infantry troops. Okay, and we want to get... What's that? More reinforcements? What's going on? Did they discover us? I guess they maybe discovered us. Yeah, they discovered us. Okay. Well, this is lovely. Okay, the White Horse Fellows. We are winning this missile matchup. And we're also in the trees, too. So we do get like a 25% bonus to the to missiles. 25% like missile defense. Can you like go over there too? Who are you and why are you weak? Let's put weak units like up in here. Okay, these are slightly weak units. Who else is now coming? What are these? Saber militia. They have very strong missile defense. And then, so what I want to look for in here is like, let's get these guys over here. They're anti-cavalry. Okay, I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to maneuver this whole battle here and win. We got our reinforcements are in the trees coming back that way, and now we can start to see the AI infantry is over here. The AI taking up position a little bit outside of our troops, but not necessarily engaging us. Okay, so these are Saber missile, Saber militia. Gosh, I have such a hard time with some of that. Oh, you guys are mounted. Oh, okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, let's get these guys up over here. Yeah, we'll see how we do here. You know, again, remember this is legendary. So he's decided to stand like right in front of us. We have our G infantry captain. Let's charge into him. Let's pull back here. Is he gonna run away? He is. He's gonna... Oh, no, he is sort of engaging. Okay. G militia. Do we have more G militia? No, we have mounted Saber stuff over here. So I think we want to pull some troops that way to clog them up, bog them down if we can. Okay, let's kind of come up on the flank here. What's going on? What are you doing? No, 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 lady Hugh, get back here. I did not ask you to charge out. I have no idea why you decided to do that. Let's go ahead and send some of this stuff this way, but let's send our cavalry that way. Okay, we need some reinforcements here. How are we doing in here? Okay, we've clogged that stuff up. Let's start coming up. Okay, let's see if we can start getting in on these missile units. Okay, how are we doing over here? These guys are pretty much out of ammunition. She's there. He's there. No, what are you guys doing? You're supposed to charge into the missiles. Why'd you stop? Yeah, we got some more guys here charging into the missiles. Where are you? Yeah, you're coming up on their other flank here. Our champions. Okay, we got into the missiles and stuff over here. I thought I asked these guys to come up this way. I'm just going to make that a locked group and give them an attack order. How are we looking? Okay, we got 2 units of Lancers that I want to try to charge into their generals that are bogged down in over here right now. Okay, so let's get our Lancers here. Let's use our peasant archers to kind of tie up some of that stuff. Get over here. Get over there. Let's get there. Let's hit the rears here. Oh, they peeled off to intercept our guys. Let's get there. I think we're doing okay. Decent charge here. That's going to crack them. Let's get a charge over here now. Oh, this stuff is finally starting to appear. Get on that stuff, please. Get on that, please. What are you? Let's get them over here. This is cavalry. Let's keep the cavalry there. Okay, now that we got our missile units here, we can start shooting at their missile units. And those guys too, I guess. We got some units that aren't coming. Come on, what are you guys doing? How are we doing over here? The mounted Lancer militia kind of got chased off. How are we doing in here? We have a combat over here that's concerting. So I think we're going to charge our cavalry over there in. And we're kind of starting to crack over in here. It's a lot to try to manage. Okay, now we got a pretty big battle over in here with them. Lancer militia. Let's see if we can break these guys. No, let's attack them. Okay, can you guys get up here and attack stuff, please? There is so much going on right now. It is very hectic. I want these guys to come this way. We need help over here. Okay, Guangzhang, whoever he is starting to break. Do we have any units over here? Those guys still haven't made it here. Okay, we broke them here. Let's get these guys. How is Lady Bu? We got them over there. Who are you? We're starting to win the battle. Yeah, it's starting to tip in our favor. Get on there, General. Let's break the Jian sword guards. Okay. Heavily falling in our favor now. And then here comes our reinforcing infantry and whatnot to finally get on top of these guys. And probably win us the battle. Okay, woo! That was a big, messy affair. Well, so who's left in here? Nobody really. We'll turn off guard mode. And it would be worthwhile at this point to use our cavalry units and just chase everything down and try to wipe out their entire stack. I'm not going to bother doing that. We've already done that a little bit earlier in the stream. I already talked about how in Three Kingdoms, chasing down or running down fleeing enemy troops is very effective, kind of like it used to be in Shogun 2. From Rome 2 onward, chasing down troops didn't seem to really wipe them out on the campaign map as much. But Three Kingdoms, it definitely seems to have an effect. Whew. Let's take the ransom, because we are at a negative income per turn right now. So the ransom's very helpful. Is that it? We didn't capture anybody, unfortunately. And we don't have the movement to pursue Gongsun Zhan any further. Let's, however, see if they're willing to accept peace. No, why not? We just annihilated you on the battlefield. You should want peace with us right now. I mean, we just hammered you guys. All right, well, forget it. They don't want peace. Are we in our own territory? Yuan Shao, we are. Okay, so we're just gonna hang out here and replenish his army. His army is still mostly full. He didn't really take a lot of casualties in that engagement. And so now what we're gonna do is, here's a nice big full stack, right, of Zhang Yan. They came in from the northwest, and they took our farm, also causing us to be negative with our food production. Oh no, everything's on fire. Well, we can afford to repair, and repair, so we'll do that. We still have this farm though. Oh yeah, this is not our starting farm. This is the farm that we got when we confederated with Hanfu. So it's kind of okay that we lost that. It's not really a big deal. So what we're gonna do now is applying some strategy. The AI can move all the way up to here, and the AI, okay, all the way up to here. The AI cannot resist a juicy weekend army. And so if we look at how far he can move and how far we can move, it seems like right here at this little turn in the road, if we move up to here in our forced march stance, we won't be able to replenish, but the AI is gonna chase us. And you know what? I think it's worthwhile to force march at least up to here. And so what this does, strategy-wise, movement-wise, the AI has a very good chance of coming over here and attacking Hanfu. If he does, we retreat. Next turn, we counter attack with Yuan Shao. If he does not do that, Yuan Shao is almost a full stack, and then we can come up and attack with both armies if we want, and defeat Zhang Yan relatively easily. So no big deal that we lost the farm. We should be able to get it back pretty soon here. And then let's go ahead here and look at just a few of these things really quick. Immune to fear and terror. Oh, so I guess terror is in the game in some way. I'm not sure what would cause terror. This is Hanfu. 25% chance of capturing enemy officers post-battle when present. Let's pick that. And Yuan Shao. Does he have one where we can capture people too? Because I would kind of like to take it if he did. It doesn't appear that he does, so we'll go with the fire arrows and night battles. And then let's click through all this stuff. Now, what are the effects of negative food? I have no idea. Public order, I guess. Attrition, maybe? Maybe we'll take attrition. I guess we'll find out. Because that's as much as we could do right now. Let's try peace with Yuan Shao one more time. No, I think he's getting a little bit closer. I think. Haven't been keeping that close of an eye on it. And let's maybe look for a quick deal trade agreement. No, I don't see one. Okay. End our turn. Well, apparently this was a huge mistake. And apparently they're like the Beastmen of the Warhammer faction. So apparently we've been ambushed. I didn't know they could do that. Okay, so if you're playing as Yuan Shao, watch out for Zhang Yan. I guess he's one of the rebel or guerrilla factions. I'm not going to bother fighting it. There's no chance of winning that one. And ouch, just like that, we've lost some people. I'm surprised. I didn't know that was in the game. Oh, bother. Well, let's just see what happens here. Dong Van signed a peace treaty with Wen Shu. Xian Ping killed in battle. Zhang He killed in battle. Prisoner released. Han Fu. Oh, well, that was nice of them. A great loss. Yuan Shao. Bonus experience for Yuan Shao. So apparently we get bonus experience when nobles die. Okay. Coming of age. Wen Xi. And something I was looking at earlier in here. I just want to check and see when Wen Xi now has come of age. And now we can marry them. There's apparently nobody in our faction that we can marry them with, so I guess we would, if we wanted to do that, we would either need to recruit a woman, possibly of 18 years or older, or maybe try through diplomacy. I'm not sure. In any case, you know what? We're here at the 3-hour mark. I think we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna wrap this up for today. 3 hours, 3.5 hours almost. For those of you that stopped by, thank you so much for doing so. I hope anyone who watches this, I hope it gives you a good idea of the game, and that maybe you'll consider checking out the rest of the channel and possibly subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. You have a good afternoon. Take care. And if you buy the game, I hope you enjoy it on release.